Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
They got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughened him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case. Dati mihi Anglican parade service Latino.
That's literally not true.
Oh, for Trump's sake.
All right. I think I remember how to do this. I think I hit that button there. Actually, that's not right where I want it. It's a Monday. Welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. It's been a long weekend. And I'm just now trying to get settled back into the studio. Yes, both cameras are working, says Michelle's Mixed Media Madness. I'll take that as a win. Michelle. First of all, let's do a couple things. First, let's see if that's not right. Let's try that one. Ashley, there you are. Hang on just one second. Let me see if I can put me where I belong. I'm in the wrong spot. Run today. There we go. That's it. And now we're gonna put you where you belong. Which is obviously you're where you belong. They're just gonna move you just a tiny bit here. There we go. All right. Now the universe is balanced and everything's in order. Good morning. Happy Monday. Thank you very much for being here. My name is Scott. I am the Recovery Addict. I appreciate all you guys being here. I don't think I've ever said my name is Scott before, like ever, in my intro. Well, now there's my big name reveal, guys. So my name is Scott. It's been a year of doing this, and I don't think I've ever opened with saying my name is Scott. That being said, it's a new week. It's a new day. We have completed. We have seen the verdict be handed down, the award be granted, or selected by the jury in the Maya trial, and now we are looking forward and saying, and now what? I am pleased to announce that we have big plans specifically for tomorrow. But today is still a breather day. Tomorrow we're going to bring you some behind the scenes from the Maya trial. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Hopefully, can you see my crossing my fingers? I'm not doing it very well. Hopefully, including some never before heard stuff, audio. So we're working on that right now. Don't hold me to that one. But it's going to involve some very smart women. Hopefully, we'll get maybe 2 or 3 of them on camera. Some of them you might have seen during the trial, and I'm giddy with excitement over this. I really am. I'm super excited. So we'll save that till tomorrow. That's gonna be a noontime interview tomorrow, and I'm really excited about it. Really excited. Anyway, that being said, this morning we have fun stuff to do right here. First of all, we have to properly recognize Ashley, who was first in chat. Ashley is a repeat offender, habitual offender, when it comes to being first in chat and committing that crime. Ashley, you know what happens as a punishment for being first in chat. We are sentencing you to internet ownership for the day, and you're going to be required to perform all maintenance and upkeep on everything IP related worldwide until we go live again. Yes, I was talking with Dr. Joe Corcoran over the weekend. I was texting with him this morning. We are looking at doing that as well. I'm going to get with him after. He obviously has some great interviews today. He's going to be on with Megan Fox this morning, I think at 11. I think he's going to be on tonight with Rob from Law and Lumber. And we're going to try to have him on later in the week. There are reasons. We could have got him on sooner, but there are reasons why I'm waiting, and mostly it's to make sure that I don't do anything that would jeopardize the verdict in this trial. And so I want to get a feel for where we can and can't go, and I've been reaching out to some great legal minds, including Rob, to help with that. So I'm excited about that. So he's coming up. We don't have him scheduled down yet. We don't have a time scheduled, but we're looking forward to being able to meet with him and pick his brain a little bit about his experience and what happens from here. All right. That said, let's see. We have birthdays. Hang on. All right. Is he on tomorrow with Melanie and Rob? I thought it was today he was on. Okay. It's tomorrow night with Law and Lumber. That makes sense. Okay, wonderful. Tomorrow we're going to have our interview, not with Dr. Joe. We're looking for that later in the week. I'm going to let him be on with Melanie, and I thought he was on with Megan as well, and Rob. I think he's got a couple scheduled. So he's going to be on there first with other lawyers before I wade in. Not being a legal mind, I want to make sure I don't cause any problems there. Julie Martin, good morning to you. Welcome. We have a couple birthdays we need to celebrate. I'm just looking for the buffer. Let's see. Let's see where we are. I know it was in here somewhere. There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 birthdays. Bobby Graham, 70th birthday. Kathy, 38th birthday. Penny had a birthday yesterday, and Kathy has a birthday tomorrow. So Kathy, we can sing it to you tomorrow. Is it all right if we wait until your birthday? Because that's a day we're going to be live streaming. So we've got 3. So I've got Bobby. Let me just highlight these here. Okay, so I'm going to write them down.
Is that correct?
That's correct. I'm going to write these down. So Bobby Graham. You know I can't push the B button on my keyboard, so this is hard. There we go. Bobby.
Joyful just sent a super sticker with 3.99.
Thank you, Joyful. Let me grab that here in just a second. Bobby Graham, 70. Nice. That's awesome, Bobby. Kathy, 38. Congratulations, Kathy. Okay, there's 2. Penny was yesterday. We'll put Penny on the list. And let's see, anybody else we need to sing to? Do we hear any others? It's Katie, not Kathy. Katie has a birthday today.
I object.
Selena Kay's granddaughter's birthday today. Does Selena Kay's granddaughter have a name that we could sing? Because Selena Kay's granddaughter is hard to fit into the song. Cindy and I are going to be grandparents for the first time. My dog Clover, that is awesome. Congratulations. That's huge. The joy of having kids that you can rile up and then send back to their families is...
Kidda Smith just sent a super sticker with 19.99.
Kidda, thank you very much for a huge super sticker as well. Hang on, let's see. My birthday's tomorrow, says Debbie. Okay, Debbie, we'll sing to you and Kathy tomorrow. Is there anyone else? Let's see. Does the Misfit Bee count as a button asking for future contest? That's going to be coming up. Hang on. Let's see. I've been talking with Dr. Joe Corcoran, and I do want to talk to him on the channel. I've expressed that, and he's very happy to come on. I did say that I want to wait till he appears first with a couple lawyers and make sure that I'm solid in the questions I ask, because I don't want to ask a question that could, lead it to something that would be a problem with the verdict. And I want to understand that better to protect that for that reason. All right. Catherine's also having a birthday. So Catherine, okay, is that it? So final call. If anybody can let me know otherwise. Bobby, Katie, Penny, and Catherine. Is that right? And you guys are all warmed up and ready to sing. Is that correct? You've all been doing your vocal exercises this morning. Let's see, my son. Missy Dee. What's Cameron? Okay, so Cameron's on there. Okay, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to sing to those 5 people. If we missed any others, I do apologize. I'm looking. I've been watching, and if I missed it, I'm truly, truly sorry. Let's Let's see. Okay, we're gonna sing. Let's do this. Bobby, Katie, Penny, Catherine, and Cameron. La 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 la. Okay, no hiding there in the back. Voices up, people. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Bobby, Katie, Penny, Catherine, and Cameron. Happy birthday to you. Selena K, granddaughter called Hadley. Well, we're going to have to sing one more verse just for her. I fit all 5 in that first verse, though. All 5 names. So, Hadley, here we go. Everyone, one more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hadley. Happy birthday to you. All right, happy birthday to everyone who is celebrating today or thereabouts. So hope you have a wonderful, wonderful birthday. I realize there are a million places you can be. A million places you can be that to celebrate you and your great accomplishments in life. Strictly surviving another year, which is an accomplishment in today's day and age. So thank you very much for being here. Make sure you get your free pancakes at Denny's or wherever else they celebrate that as well. All right, we're going to tune that down. That birthday song happens to be the longest rendition of that song I've ever heard. It goes for like 7 minutes. It's so long. All right, that being said, we have a couple. Let's see. I'm just trying to read the chat here. I missed a super chat in here, and I said I'd get it, and I'm looking. Joyful. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Thank you very much, with the mug as well. I have my mug. It's not focusing, but I have it. It's empty right now, which is a good thing because I would have spilled all over my laptop. Krista says, hard to believe it's been 7 months already. Krista, thank you. It's been wonderful. Wonderful. It would not be the same without you, Krista. It wouldn't. 7 months, that's just the beginning. We've got so far to go. Here's what I wanted to do. How about a little surprise before we get into Sarah Boone's letter? And this is a different letter. This is a very different letter. This is a letter involving her child custody dispute. Let's see. Let's see if I can find where I need to be here. There it is. Before I lost my train of thought, but I'm coming back. Before I do that, I was wondering if maybe you guys would like to watch with me a little car chase from over the weekend. Would that be all right? Would that be okay? We haven't watched a car chase in a long time, and I thought it might be great to get a car chase on here, just for old time's sake. As we've had a very heavy trial with some difficult facts that last a long time. Let's see. Hold tight. The chat is going fast already. Just 1 second. Okay, yay, my first chase is Gerda. Yes, okay, car chase, bring it on. I got approval. You guys, if you don't like it, then take it up with the powers that be. Where's my car chase? Not there. There it is. Give me just 1 second. Let's make this full screen. We are going to listen to it a little bit sped up. We're going to be at 1.25 speed. So we've got about a 10-minute chase here, and let's see if we can bring this to you. This is 1.25 speed, so he is driving fast, as you can see from the 118 mile an hour indicator in the corner.
This is a robbery suspect out of the Pomona area. Very high speed pursuit. That white Audi, you see it right there. The only thing that's keeping up with him is the helicopter, and it's not just us. That'd be the law enforcement. Now, this came out of the Pomona area and has been moving very, very quickly, taking a number of different freeways, and you can see it right there. Very reckless driving. This is a newer Audi. We've been watching it. Speeds up in the triple digit for most of the drive out here, and of course, you see it getting very close to a lot of other cars and cutting a lot of these other vehicles off. Now, the helicopter that is above is making calls to the guys on the ground, basically being the California Highway Patrol. They're trying to get somebody into place to get behind this vehicle and to start to warn the public, get some distance between that driver and the public out here this afternoon. You can see those speeds. As soon as he gets a little bit of an opening, he really starts to open it up. I'm going to get a little bit of a wider shot right there, and you can see that vehicle continuing to move. Now, there is some talk, crosstalk. We can't.
They have some connection issues here.
This confirmed that this may be an armed suspect, because law enforcement is not giving this one up. A lot of times when you see those very high speeds, that very reckless driving, they'll back off. They'll say, you know what, this is too dangerous. We have a plate. We kind of know what's going on. We're just going to keep the public safe. But in this case, they are staying with it, and they actually are trying to get California Highway Patrol units in the area to be ready for when this vehicle gets by, so they can do the lights and sirens and start warning the public and hopefully bring this pursuit to an end peacefully and safely.
Safely, ideally, because, man, this driver is ripping through traffic right now. Triple digits. And it looks like his windows are blacked out. His or her windows, I should say. Blacked out, tinted, so we can't really tell who exactly is behind the wheel and how many people are in the car, right?
This was,
yeah, you know, tinted windows don't mean
yesterday.
nothing. We know who's inside, and that is going to be an armed
maybe
suspect,
on Saturday.
a robbery suspect. Looks like we are confirmed going to be staying on this off-ramp out here. Avalon, you can see it right there. And that vehicle, we've seen this before, just kind of just pushes his way through these areas. Super close, very to a lot of these other cars. We're going to be in the Compton area right now. Now, the Sheriff's Department, I'm sure they've been listening to this. They at least have an idea that this is going on their freeway, making going to be a turn to the north. That car continuing on. Now, this is the
video
thing.
feed gets a little bit better.
Down, and hopefully it does. With those high speeds on the freeway, that now when you start these high speeds on surface streets out here, it's going to be very different. I know this road personally. I know there's a lot of potholes, especially in that area where he just got off the freeway. But you can see that car continuing to move, those high speeds out of traffic. Every time he gets so close to somebody else, I just cringe, because you just don't know what the other person is unaware what's going on. A little bit of a hard on the brake there because of a big rig doing their job. Very industrial, but we are going to be getting into a residential area if he continues on in this direction. Right now, though, high-speed pursuit, very dangerous, especially when you start running red lights.
Which is exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah, unless, thank goodness he wasn't going 90 miles an hour on that one. But we're going to keep an eye on it for sure. Now, the Sheriff's Department, they do have a helicopter above. They are making the calls right now. They are still trying to get units on the ground. But maybe will just kind of come to a stop on its own without an incident, and then they can just kind of follow it, turn it into something else. Right now, though, it's still very dangerous, and hopefully nobody's going to get hurt.
Yeah, I know. When you're recklessly and this fast, you really hope that everybody around you, it's important that they pay close attention and they're making all the right moves as well, and not trying to step in or intervene themselves, because A, this guy's driving crazy, and B, he could potentially, you're hearing, be armed.
At all.
Could be armed, and that might be
100 miles an hour.
They're just not
He's
letting
not
this
on
go.
the freeway.
Stu, look at the speed.
Yes, definitely. And this is not just a maybe. I'm pretty sure that Skyfox is pretty accurate, probably within 10 miles. And even within 10 miles, he was still miles an hour right there on Redondo Beach Boulevard. So this guy is very, very dangerous. And this is the thing. Nobody's expecting that. You look in your mirror, you see a car might be behind you. You're going to change lanes. You have no idea that is going 100 miles an hour. That's when those problems happen. Somebody innocent might get hurt. We don't want to see that get hurt, and that's the truth as well. But right now, this person driving extremely fast out here, keeping in this, we're in the Harbor Gateway area, but again, this is back into the LAPD locations. If they're going to put somebody on it, that is a big question. Even at these high speeds, an LAPD unit on the ground, they would have extremely hard time just keeping
I love
up with
Stu's
this
call on these.
And of course, they have to follow the rules out here, running another red light. At least it wasn't straight through. But again, these are one of the ones where, we just don't want to see anybody get hurt. And of course, these high speeds just make everything that much more complicated.
Stu, can you remind us what the officers, when they choose to do a pursuit like this, being that this person is going so fast and driving so recklessly? I've seen him at least several times cross the double yellow line, like he is right now.
And Stu loses his IFB right here.
I don't know if I'm cutting you off or because I've been trying to get a hold of somebody. We lost the IFB. I can't hear anybody at the station right now, but the speeds at least are a little bit slowing down, and you can see this road is a lot less. This is going to be on Figueroa, which is kind of shocking that it is this empty.
Did you see the donuts that people are peeling out on the road before?
Are they going to get behind them? What are they going to do? How are they going to handle it? Those are all the questions right now. It seems to be making a turn, making his way into an area, and continuing these slower speeds. I'm wondering if perhaps he has some sort of fuel issue.
This is sped up. But just know that in real life,
opportunity for law enforcement. There you go.
This guy's fast.
Door is open. out running, making his way through an alleyway out here. This would be the opportunity for law enforcement to make their
He's on the phone.
Here. Look at this
He's
guy
talking
run.
on the phone.
I mean,
Where's where the law enforcement is in the area, because on foot and he went into a dead-end area, this would be an ideal time for officers to apprehend him. Where is he going
definitely.
into?
Right through. He's between the buildings right there. Let's see if he comes out. We're going to stay wide right now. agile. That guy's like a jackrabbit running around down there.
Like
there he goes, came out the other side. Yep, there, track and field for sure. He missed his calling. He's on a cell phone. That's one of the great things about Skyfox. We can really kind of push in and get a better look at that suspect. It doesn't seem to have a weapon in his hand, but that's not going to solve any of the problems right now. He definitely was on a cell phone, probably trying to make some phone calls, maybe trying to get a hold of somebody so they can basically meet him. Whoop, there you go. There's a 1st California Highway Patrol unit right there out of the vehicle. Now that suspect's got to be at least a little bit exhausted. We're going to keep coming around. Let's see. Oh, up.
It always happens in undercover, right? It always happens.
It's always in the tree. It's always in the trees.
Yeah. What building is this? Do you know?
I always make that. Yeah, there he is.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
There it is. You know it's one of my shots when it happens underneath a tree. I always make that joke. When it comes to an end, it's going to be under a tree. That's mine. There you go. You can see those officers from California Highway Patrol. What an amazing work these guys did, and the coordination with that helicopter and these guys on the ground to get this suspect.
Yeah.
Amazing. And again, Jen, look at that. Nobody injured.
Okay, so
some really close.
We're gonna cut away for just a second because it has the video goes to commercials. But that was it. They got him. That was it. That when you steal a car and run from the police and then you jump out and you start running, the only thing that happens is you're going to get caught and you're going to be tired, and that's what he was. So he did try to call an Uber, I guess, and never made the pickup. Hopefully, he got billed for the guy showing up anyway. All right. Anyway, so that gets us back into the spirit of things just a little bit. That being said, we also have, I can show you the ending, the very ending if you want. Do you want to see like him getting tucked into the car? Hold on one second. It's right here.
Nice stuff. Well dressed. He wouldn't let that backpack go, so I really wonder what's in it. You know what I mean?
The backpack is, it's currently on. He's handcuffed. You can't take the backpack off when you're handcuffed, but the police think of a solution here.
It looks a little Louis, doesn't it?
And they're like, "Oh, I've got a knife. We'll just."
He's still got his gloves on. I wonder what that's all about.
We'll snip this one, and snip that one, and now the backpack's off. Problem solved. Backpack's ruined, but problem solved. So there you go. Oh, it's a cute little backpack too, little tiny one. Anyway, that's how the chase ends, and our guy gets a free ride in a different car. So, all right, that's where that one ends. Hello, Mrs. R.A. Good morning. How are you doing? You're here for books, school books. Okay, it's all right. You're live.
Oh. There's a lawsuit.
She has to get to the bookshelf over there, so I'll go live like this way. Okay, you're good. Let's see. Bug Dugger says, "I'm yellow. May you all feel sunshine, hope, and happiness today. That Monday is a day just for that. It's a hope, happiness, and sunshine day." Bill Ottinger gave us a super chat as well. Thank you very much, Bill. Appreciate that as well. We have, look at this, KH in South Carolina with 10 months. 10 months. Thank you very much, Kay. We've also got Dr. McDreamy with the Green Courthouse now. That looks amazing. And let's see, Bug Digger, we got you there with the happiness and sunshine. Jacqueline says, Recovery Addict's commentary is greater than news commentator commentary. Yes, there are times that I'll comment on police chases. The bus chase was a fun one. The school bus, if you ever watched that one, that was bizarre. It had some great music there as well. All right, backpack looked like a Louis Vuitton. Oh no. That means that backpack was worth a fair amount of money. We have one other thing we want to start here before we go court hopping, and that is we have been following Sarah Boone and her progress through the criminal system as she's charged with second-degree murder in the death of George, her boyfriend, and this is the suitcase murder that she ended up getting him into the suitcase and zipping him up and leaving him in there, and he died. He passed away asphyxiated there. That case is slowly moving forward. We think we have a trial date now scheduled for January. I think there's a new document that's posted that shows it's got a new date in January, and hopefully that'll stick. We've said that for the last year, but it's been pushed and pushed and pushed. She's been waiting for almost 4 years for this to go to trial. And so that's where we're at. But in that, she is, throughout this, Sarah Boone has been writing letters to the judge. She is not very happy. She's been writing letters to her attorney. She wasn't very happy about that. She's had many attorneys. And now we have a new letter, but this letter is not the same as the other letters, because at the same time the criminal case is moving forward, there's a divorce and custody battle going forward as well. And we're going to look back on that letter. It's not brand new. And a couple people have covered this already, but we wanted to cover it as well, just to complete it for our files. So we're going to bring that up here. Let's see. And it's not going to get any bigger than this. Let's see. Let me see if I can bring Discord over there. And this comes courtesy of the fabulous folks over on Discord, by the way. I appreciate the great work they do over there. Where's my mouse? There it is. Give me just a second. We'll shut that one down. Bring this one over. Now, I want you not to look in the background at how many hundreds of messages I have not read yet on Discord. This is not the important thing, okay? This is not the important part. But I will show you. Here it is. There's the Discord. Ignore the messages. And if you send me a message right now, whatever it is going up on the screen, I'd recommend you don't do it, because it would out you and might show information that you don't want shown publicly. So let's not do that just for a minute. All right, here we go. This letter is dated. Let's see. I don't have the date. It's cut off. But it is to Judge Michael Dean, who's the judge over this other matter, from Sarah Boone, and it has the court case number. This is a family law situation. Motion to read letter from respondent and schedule case management hearing. Judge Michael Dean. In all my attempts, 16 plus, to protect myself and help from the still ongoing hate, lies, slander, degradation, cruelty, and active abuse from former husband Brian C. Boone. Sorry, Michael's the judge. Brian C. Boone. Nothing has been improved, made better, corrected, relieved in any way for myself, the respondent, from former husband, the court, or judge. I have tried everything. I have made innumerable requests and sent many. Man, I just cannot see this. I've sent many letters asking for aid from all, with no success or assistance, listening or coming by anyone other than myself. Trying to believe or another stop has inappropriateness, bitterness, anger, and wrongdoing. Please see list below of my letters sent to you and court, per the records, management division of the clerk of courts. When, after the third time, tried getting a copy of my active dissolution of marriage agreement. I cannot hear, this is awful to read. I cannot have, because they are wanting something meant in order to they're wanting payment in order to receive, and I'm in jail. I also have no bank accounts after the one I had was closed after having for 30 years due to non-payment of alimony from former husband and stated in prior letters. Now she lists the letters that she's written. In 2001 she wrote 21, she wrote 2. In 2022 she wrote 2, 4, 6. In 2023 she wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is appalling how uninterested, uncaring, and nonchalant you and the justice system are about my side in all of this, and will not listen without the right paperwork and attorney, knowing I am actively being taken advantage of and wrongfully going to do anything for you until your trial is over, and even then it will still be in my favor. My other document is ready to go, so I can take the rest. I have an attorney. You defend nothing. You mean nothing. I'm not sure if she was in her right mind when she wrote this. This is struggling. Maybe I'm just reading it poorly. Then former husband gets his precious attorney to file another answer denying allegations because I'm telling the truth, and all the time about his awful lies, and I am right. Judge Dean, so I have to continue taking forever husband's abuse, neglect, unlawful actions, and cruel comments and hate until my trial, when it happens. However long this will be. Now, considering my attorney has withdrawn from my case and no date of trial is known or will be for an undetermined amount of time, how much more hate and disrespect will former husband encourage myself to keep lying and overall being mean to me? Has his mother for his does it say his mother? Former husband. Mrs. R.A., can you read this for me? I'm right at the bottom, 3 lines down. It says, being mean to me, his mother. The mother of his child? Where's that? Oh, I'm above that, 2 lines above that. Being mean to me, his mother, former husband, is teaching and... Can you read that from over there? Is it just my eyes that are bad?
Yeah, it's pretty clear if you get it closer.
So I have to get up and walk? It's on my big screen and I can't see it. Okay, Mrs. R is going to take the mic and read for a little bit.
Here, can you hold this? Okay. So this is the last paragraph on the left page. How much more hate and disrespect will former husband encourage my son to keep lying and overall being mean to me, his mother? I'm kind of far away too. Former husband is teaching and reflecting a terrible example of how women can and should be treated. Nevertheless, the mother of his child. This is egregious and wrong. Please read my prior motion for case management hearing. I sent 6/28/23 with no response to date. I am requesting again, please to schedule. It is fair. Wait, is that what it said? It is fair, and there are too many topics to be discussed, including my attorney, to write, and I only have 1 pen. Oh, I'm so sorry. Necessary, lawful, active, important topics. What is a certified notice of delinquent support filed 8/3/23? That is an excellent question. I don't know. Please grant my motion and schedule my imperative, overdue, owed meeting. Everyone needs and must have the same understanding now and in the future. It is fair. It occurs to me that actually I'm speaking like sort of sideways to the mic. Can you guys hear me? Okay. What else can I do? What's left except for begging? Which former husband says that I do all the time. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's not good. What am I doing wrong in order to be treated rightfully, properly, ethically correct in order to finally receive your judicial assistance? How I am and have been and will be treated by former husband Brian C. Boone is unfair, malicious, and wrong, and should not be in any way allowed to continue. Stop. Please see, please listen, please help. Judge Dean, what was the reason for your comment made in the courtroom about former husband violating my constitutional rights? If you're not going to help or uphold said rights and lawfully allow me to use, what's the point? Why do I even have something? I don't know. Why do I even have, I don't know. Have. You know I do in order for you to remark and see that they are being violated. September 19th, 2022. Please schedule. It is my right. It is fair. Sincerely, Sarah Boone. Please send a copy of this letter so I know that it was received and will serve as my receipt. This is really interesting because listening to her other letters, she seems less coherent. Before she was really quite easy to understand. She's not completing her sentences and her logic doesn't seem to be nearly as clear here. I feel bad for her, but it doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. Or it could be that I'm very bad at reading. I don't know.
I think she did a great job reading, much better than I could. That was a tough letter to read. But I just wanted to include that so we have that list of all the letters that have happened that we have record of since this started. So that being said, let me recap one more time. Today we are going to court hop. Tomorrow, I guess I can just say it. Tomorrow we're going to have attorney Jennifer Anderson, partner and wife of attorney Greg Anderson, on the show. And we may even get a couple of the paralegals. So we've got our fingers crossed for this. We are super excited. I've been talking with her over the weekend. We've also been talking this morning. She has offered to. She let me know that there could be some audio that she has available of Jack and Beata that was not used in trial that should be would release that we could listen to as well. That might be very insightful and interesting. So I'm super excited. We're scheduling it for noon, and we're trying to get everything in order. But in order to do that, I'm going to take a shorter day today so I can get everything done. And because I'm asking them to use software and connections that I want to make sure I get right, and that I want to make sure they're comfortable with, in order to make everything work tomorrow. So. That's what's scheduled for tomorrow. I've told Dr. Corcoran that I'd like to interview him after I talk with attorney Jennifer Anderson, and we're gonna and she says they've got so much behind the scenes stuff they want to share. I'm so excited. I've given them a list of the questions that sort of I have. Just so to know the sort of area that I'm looking into. Clearly, there are things that they cannot say, as they are. I mean, she is a partner of the law firm that represented the Kowalskis. She's married to Greg Anderson, the lead attorney on this trial, and so she won't say anything that would jeopardize that verdict. But just know that she would be open to answering some of your questions on that live stream tomorrow. So if you bring your questions for her, we'll see if we can ask her some of those. Obviously, won't be able to answer all of them, but we are super excited. She is just an amazing woman. I spent some time talking to her on the phone, and it was wonderful. So that said, then we are going to also try to schedule Dr. Corcoran for later in the week, possibly on Wednesday, and then we'll. I think we'll hold off. There might be some future interviews involving the Maya trial, but those are, if they do happen, they'll be further down the road. So, and I'm working with some great and smart people that are making sure we do this the right way and get you the information you would like about the case, while at the same time protecting the verdict. So and Rob is like at the top of that list. All right, so that's going to be happening. Let's see. Megan Fox is going to be interviewing Dr. Corcoran. Rob is going to be interviewing Dr. Corcoran. It's Melanie? I'm not sure if Melanie's... I forget. I thought there were three. It's either the lawyer or Melanie, I thought, was going to do that. So that is coming up tomorrow. And super, super excited. Okay, so that said, we... Melanie will? Okay. Melanie is wonderful. That's going to be awesome as well. So lots of places to see Dr. Corcoran. I'm going to try to catch up on those interviews and see if I can ask some questions that maybe are a little different than what's covered there. It's sort of, I have the advantage of being not a lawyer, so I can ask some different questions or come at it from a different viewpoint than maybe some of the lawyers do, and they're going to ask some things and know some things to ask that I couldn't bring. So hopefully we can bring some variety there, and get you something you really enjoy listening to. All right. Yes, Dr. C did just barely start a YouTube channel, just barely, and he's opened the interviews, and we're excited about that. So Dr. Corcoran is on there. So we are going to, I think I've subscribed to him, and I followed him on Twitter as well, and we've been texting back and forth, so we'll get that lined up for later in the week. Megan Fox's channel stream is today. So that one's today, and then Rob's is tomorrow. Is that right? Yeah, I'm not going to interview him until after Rob interviews him. That whatever that date is. So, all right. Let's see the next little thing that's coming up. Are we going to ask the name of his wife's restaurant? I know it. But yeah, we can do that. We can do that on the live stream. That would be awesome. I've had some pictures of people sent to me from the restaurant say they love it. So it's cool. All right. Where is? Let's see. We have a couple of things. Let me jump to court hopping. Our good favorite, Judge Stephanie Boyd, is in a jury trial right now, and it's been a doozy of a jury trial, including witnesses that are very reluctant to talk on the stand and just sitting there, like 5 minutes of silence, the question being asked over and over and them not answering. I think there were people like dragged in from the hallway to testify. It was a little crazy, but it's a little weird to pick up the trial right there. So we're going to try to find a few other courts that are in session that we can jump to. Let's see, it's 9:11, so court should be starting here soon. Just looking through the list of who we've got. Okay. Got a misdemeanor docket. Let's see if, hold on one second. Let me see if I can bring this one in. Double check if she allows it. I don't think we've gone to this one before. Let's give this a try. This is Judge Kristen D. Simmons' courtroom. And I don't know the state. I can't see the seal here of where she's at. So give me just 1 second.
That was not no longer an option. I'm not going to hold that against you, but I think the prosecutor and the defense attorneys are well aware, and my staff, that we don't accept offers after final pretrial. The negotiations take place and not on the morning of trial. Okay. Okay. Thank you. And so the offer is what, Mr. Brodowitz?
It would be to plead to an added count 2 of malicious destruction of building, $200 or less with plead no contest to an added count 2 malicious destruction of building, $200 or less with restitution to be determined, Your Honor.
What's the purpose of the no contest?
The lack of memory due to intoxication.
Do you have a police sheet?
Yes, Your Honor.
Lack of memory due to
Apologies, there would also be a
intoxication.
killer group for no upfront jail, Your
Do
Honor.
you have a police report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Reckless destruction of a building. This is like Wreck-It Ralph, but drunk. Is that what I'm hearing? Young, wonderful to have you here. It seems like you've been here forever. We know each other. Has it only been 2 months? I would have thought you're an OG.
Michigan approach.
This is out of Michigan.
Okay, so the offer is for you to plead no contest to an added count 2 malicious destruction of a building, $200 or less, and to pay restitution. That's what the offer you want to accept? Yes. What's the restitution amount?
That is yet to be determined, Your Honor. We would ask that this be set for restitution here.
We have witnesses here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Who's your witness? Are they present?
They are in one of the conference rooms outside, Your Honor, but yes, they are here.
Let me get the witness, please.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
Okay, so ma'am, you have the following rights if you want to avail yourself of this offer. But let me first have you raise your right hand. I don't remember swearing you, I don't do it again if I did. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give is the truth and the whole truth under penalty of perjury. Okay, and so you understand, ma'am, in this matter, you have the right to proceed to jury trial? Yes? Yes. Okay, you have the right at the time of trial to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. You have the right to require the prosecution prove your guilt by proving each element of the charge being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that? Yes, I do. You have the right to remain silent at your trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to confront in court and cross-examine any other witnesses that the prosecution intends to call. And you have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence that you believe further a defense to the charge being brought against you. You understand that? Yes. Are you willing to give up each of those rights today in order to enter a no contest plea? Yes, I am. Anybody threatening you to get you to enter a no contest plea today? No. Anybody promising you anything if you waive your rights and enter a no contest plea? No. There's a Killebrew. That's an agreement about how you're going to be sentenced, but that's agreements between you and the prosecutor. I'm not a party to that, and I'm the one that has to sentence you. And so I'm advising you now that if I determine that I'm not going to follow that and I'm going to put you in a term of jail time, I would give you the opportunity to withdraw your plea at that time, okay? Okay. And then, are you currently on probation or parole? No. You understand that if you're found to be guilty by way of no contest plea in this matter, this could be a conviction that you may need to report to your employer. Yes, ma'am. You may also need to report this conviction on future job applications. Yes, ma'am. This conviction could also be something that impacts your ability to travel certain places or to have immigration status approved in certain places. You understand that? I do. Okay. You have your witnesses here?
Yes.
Okay, well, who is your witness?
My witnesses would be Miss Ashley Sylvester and Mr. Julie Briggs.
Okay, they don't, can you state your name for the record?
Ashley Sylvester.
Okay, and do you have any restitution information with you today?
I reported all that to the prosecutor or the prosecuting office that was in charge of this 2 years ago when this took place in June 6th, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. They seem to have lost it. I can get a hold of the last landlord and have something stating that he evicted me because of the actions that she took. And I can show you my new lease that I had to move within 30 days. This cost me well over $2,000. Cost me my security deposit and my home, which I resided for 7 years. I don't know exactly what I would need to provide with you. I did provide an estimate for the door itself, which was over $400.
The estimate was for a door? That's what the restitution is?
The door, the frame. It wasn't just the door that came down. It was
the door and to
frame.
Replace the door though, is what you're saying? Yeah. Okay. And so your recollection is an estimate of about $400.
It was about $450. Yeah.
Okay. And so this plea offers for you to plead no contest and pay restitution. Are you objecting to that amount of restitution? An approximate amount of $400? We don't know the exact amount.
I would like to see proof.
You have the right to see proof. And so you're not agreeing to pay the $400 or the approximate amount until you can see the proof. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Mr. Broadwood, are you able to locate that information? In the interim, ma'am, I'm going to proceed here. I have a police report here. It's Lansing Police Department, case number 215195167. And so as to the amended charge, or the added count 2, I should say, malicious destruction of a building 200 or less, you plead guilty, not guilty, stand mute, or no contest.
No contest.
Okay. And were you intoxicated that day?
Yes, drinks were involved.
Okay, so you don't remember the incident?
I don't remember exactly what happened.
Okay, and so I have a police report here. It states that on or about June 6, 2021, at the area of 2016 Roberts Lane, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that the victim, Julian Briggs, indicated to officers or explained an ongoing problem with the accused. Victim states the accused is his cousin. Briggs explained that there was a family gathering and that Ashley did not attend. Ashley received a phone call from the accused, and the accused was telling her that his ex-girlfriend was at the family gathering and the family was calling her his girlfriend. The phone was on speakerphone. The accused was telling Ashley how she was going to fight his ex-girlfriend. He was going to fight his ex-girlfriend, and so on. Julian and Ashley told Ashley to get out of the phone with the accused and stop entertaining the family drama. The accused began asking what Julian said to her. The accused said she was coming over to their house and hung up. Julian was in the shower when he heard loud banging on the front door. Julian opened the door and noticed it was the accused. Julian told the accused to leave his property and slammed the door shut. The accused continued pounding on the door, threatening to beat them up. As Julian was backing away from the door and Ashley was going to get a phone to call the police, the door busted open. Julian advised the accused never made entry into the home or assaulted anyone. A victim statement from an Ashley Sylvester explained that she also has ongoing issues with Julian's family. Ashley received a phone call today and from the accused about Julian's ex-girlfriend. The accused told her that she wanted to fight the ex-girlfriend. Julian told Ashley to get off the phone and to not be a part of the drama. The accused began asking what Julian was saying about her and advised she was coming over. Ashley advised approximately 10 minutes later she was in the backyard grilling when she heard loud banging on her front door. Ashley came to the front door and Julian and saw the accused. The accused was told to leave. Julian closed the door and the pounding continued. Ashley was going to get her phone to call the police when the front door busted open. Ashley told the accused the police were coming and she fled. I'm just waiting for the portion that's highlighted that tells me who the accused was. Where in your report does it tell me this?
Let me approach her.
All right, this court's moving slowly. Oh, more people are coming in. We might bail on this court because she's taking forever to process this. So let's look over here. Ready? Let's go this way.
Probation for 204, which is Muskegon. He was on probation. Well, that happened on September 12th, so that he would not have been on bond at the time of 404. So I don't see any issue.
Oh, the May of 22. Okay, I got you.
Okay. Mr. Saladave, I thought I noted to you off the record that I had some other question about this. Do you remember? I think I sent you an email. No?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, then it's Monday morning. Maybe I've got the files mixed up.
Well, Your Honor, while we're on the same page, though, Mr. Wiggins did inform me that we're missing the current offense.
Yeah.
It was 5-5.
Yeah, and that's my last point.
Okay.
That's my last point, because I don't see that the current charges on there. So we need to add 505. Okay. Next thing I'm going to note is on CFJ 284 Alpha, page 3. I would note that, and by the way, Mr. Harrison, at least at this moment in time, I don't intend to exercise the discretion to sentence the defendant consecutively. Underneath the consecutive sentence language, it should say that because he was on bond, because wasn't he on bond at the time this offense occurred?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. Those offenses were in 2022.
Well, he's got a PRB 6 scored. Was he on probation or was he on bond?
He was on probation. Yes, he was officially on probation, Your Honor, because they had not, there was an informal agreement that his probation would terminate. But he got mixed up in this at this time, so they never officially released him from that probationary sentence.
Okay. So again, this question was all triggered because we were missing the current conviction on CFJ 284A7.
I didn't notice either.
All right, so that raised the question of whether or not consecutive sentencing was there, but I don't think it's even available. It's not even discretionary now that I know he was on probation and not on bond. Okay, so we'll just make sure that gets cleared up.
Right, I do have some other, perhaps that's what you're waiting for.
Well, let's go ahead and see if that raises any other, and we'll go ahead and pass briefly on Mr. Hill's file, and we'll extend the courtesy of waiting for his family to arrive from Muskegon, wherever they're coming from. All right. Thank you very much. We are in recess, and we will pass on Mr. Hill's file, and we'll go ahead and bring up the next file. Thank you.
Okay, as they go into recess, we're looking. I think Louisiana Parole Board is about to come up with a new case. We've also got this one here that's also pending. We're waiting for Licking County Municipal Court with Judge George. That just sounds awesome. Does anyone know where Licking County is? Yes, we are court hopping right now. For those that don't know, between big trials, we like to take a little peek into the little courtrooms that dot our country. And it might be a town, a township, a small city, a large city. It could be, just all sorts of things are available. And it's a live look inside the legal system across the country. And a lot of these cases will never be in the news, or might just be a little blip in a little, a summary. But these are big cases for the people who are involved, for the victims, for the defendants as well. And we like to jump in. The Louisiana Parole Board is particularly interesting because these are people who have been convicted, sentenced, and from there, let's see. Louisiana says next one is Henry Broadway. Let's see if this one pops up here right now. I do like the Board of Parole stuff. This is really good stuff. Ash says we don't have counties, we have parishes. So I can't tell you the background of these cases. We're literally just jumping from docket to docket to see some of the stuff that's going on in court. And it's sort of what you see is what you get. You hear what I hear. And we could probably do some research. Oops, somebody's reading email. I guess we got to see that as well. Let's see. It gives an appreciation for the process and those who can't afford it, says Renee. Yes, it's most of the time, these appearances, these little court things seem to be everything getting pushed off for later. The defendant shows up, he's in jail, shows up with his lawyer. The lawyer's like, hey, we're going to continue. And he's like, all right, back to jail, we'll give you a month. And it just goes and goes and goes. And that can be very frustrating for people who don't understand the legal system. Little Miss, yay, I'm at the car chase. Okay, that's a good one. There's a Licking County in Ohio. We'll keep an eye on that one and see. It says, please wait until court is in session. In Ohio, I think might come on here soon. We'll see. Love watching Louisiana Border Parole. It's very interesting to see these. Very, very interesting. If you've never watched them, I think you'll enjoy it. See, I couldn't find Hunter Attorney's post interview. Anyone know where to find it so I can watch after Recovery Addict bails on us? Becca. I'm bailing because we're going to have an amazing interview with Attorney Anderson, not Greg Anderson, but Greg Anderson's wife, and possibly two of the paralegals from the team as well, if we can get them to jump on as well. They've got little windows of availability, and we're hoping that we can get everybody on to have a great conversation and just a peek behind the curtain into that trial. And some unique facts that really weren't played out in the media very well. Some knowledge about the firm and about who is part of the firm and what they are and how they operate. And I think you'll love it. I really enjoyed talking to Jennifer over the weekend and looking forward to this. Let's see. The wheelchair victim had to be balling. Oh, my goodness. I remember this one. Renee is talking about the Court of Appeals, where we had a case where the inmate had been accused of attempted murder. He had shot a guy, and in doing so, it crippled him for life. And the victim showed up at his hearing, asking for leniency so that the guy could get out and get a new start at life and start over, and basically forgave him for completely changing, turning his world upside down. Just amazing things you see in these things. Can you get into any courts in Grayson County, Texas? Is there a specific trial you have in mind, Courtney? Every county's a little different, so I sort of have to research every single trial individually. Did you hear about one juror violation? I have not heard anything about a juror violation. What case is that in? Yes, Angelica, you missed it, but you can rewind. It's a tough read. It's really a tough read. It's not written very well. And I didn't read it very well either. I had to call in the big guns. Had to call in Mrs. R.A. to help me read it because it just was not making sense for me. See if we can find a new case. Do we have any audio in this one? Oh, court's empty. Everybody left. I swear they were there just a minute ago. Okay, we'll keep watching to see if people show up in this one. I'm curious, what was the juror violation? What are we talking about? Jessica Legalbo, let's see what Judge Boyd is up to, please. Judge Boyd is in a jury trial. Hold on one second. Try this computer. Ooh, this one just had somebody show up. The prosecutor's here.
Yeah, he said ain't nobody in there, so.
Ella, I got a text from you about a trial you wanted me to look at. It's a past trial.
Okay,
Okay, so Ms. McKenzie, we were just waiting for the court officer to come back in, and then he's going to bring you into the courtroom. Okay. And so, and good morning, Mr. Shunke.
Morning, Judge.
We've got Judge Elizabeth DeSanto here. We've seen her before. Let's see who we have down here in these boxes.
Morning. Good morning.
Everyone's filing into the courtroom, taking their places.
Okay, so let's go on the record. We're on the record in the matter of the city of Wyandotte versus Tracy McKenzie, 232253. And then there's a show cause as well, 113887. Council, if you can you please go in the lobby? You can continue talking in the lobby, that's fine, but we're on the record. So
Ashley Linnell just sent a super sticker with 3.99.
Good morning, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, bringing me up my client. This time to consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
All right, and so ma'am, your name please for the record.
Tracy McKenzie.
All right, and you are in person, your attorney is on Zoom. Can you see and hear your attorney okay?
Yes.
And Mr. Shunke, can you see and hear Ms. McKenzie okay?
I can, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Today's date scheduled for sentencing on Ms. McKenzie's plea as charged possession of drug paraphernalia. And counsel, did you have an opportunity to review the report and recommendation with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, it's factually accurate.
All right, and as to the show cause as well on her 2011 matter for her non-payment as probation was previously revoked. Is your client prepared to handle that one today as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And counsel, as to the report and recommendation on the sentencing matter.
Your Honor, it's a violation that she failed to pay. She'll admit that she failed to pay. We won't have a hearing contesting it.
Okay. As to the, I'll address that one in just a moment. As to the sentencing on the possession of drug paraphernalia, as to the report and recommendation, counsel, are there any corrections that need to be made?
No, Your Honor, it's factually accurate.
This court's out of Michigan, by the way.
And then as to the recommendation.
Terms and conditions seem extremely advantageous to my client's sobriety. We'd ask to be adopted. I know she's had a tether on throughout her bond conditions. I'd ask that the tether be removed.
Okay. And so, Ms. McKenzie, this indicates that you're going to be participating in the treatment court, correct?
Yes.
And
right now.
I'm sorry?
I'm in treatment as we speak.
Okay, and where?
I'm at G3 for Genesis House 3.
Okay.
I've been there since since I got released on the tether.
Okay. And so because you're going to be sentenced to the treatment court, at this point we're going to maintain the tether, and then we'll address that in the treatment court. Okay?
Okay.
So and Courtney is here. I think that you're supposed to be meeting with her today after you're done, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I wasn't told it.
Okay, well, yes, you're going to meet with her after this, and then she'll tell you the next steps.
Okay.
Okay.
When I can the possibly come off, is that how that works?
Possibly, but just so you're aware too, the cost will not be yours moving forward once you're in the treatment court.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So the court has reviewed the report, the recommendation, heard from counsel, heard from Ms. McKenzie. And the court does find that there's reasonable grounds to park on CL 769.5. The court's going to order 24 months probation for defendant to participate in to comply with the terms and conditions of the 27th District Court Regional Wellness and Recovery Court. And you're not using any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed to be subjected to random testing. They notify the court immediately of any change in address or employment status, not to leave the state without consent of the court. You don't have to violate any criminal law of any unit of government, okay? And then I know that it says that you were supposed to be starting work. Did you end up starting work yet or no? Okay, I know, I wasn't sure if that was something else with treatment or not.
No, it's actually inpatient. And I don't need the.
Okay, all right. And that's one of your workers that's here with you today?
She's my counselor.
Your counselor, okay. What? You have to screen her. Okay. All right. Okay, we're going to go off the record for a moment.
Okay, I'm trying to take us back a little bit to Judge Boyd's court. She has an interesting little trial going on. She's not live yet. Just one second. Do we have audio from this one?
Sir, you don't know who did the shooting, do you?
Okay, yeah, that's the one. Here we go. Let me rewind to this. This was from 4 days ago in Judge Boyd's court. Take a little full screen here. This is in the middle of a trial, and I want you to watch this. This is I might speed it up just a tiny bit. This witness does not want to be here with Judge Boyd, or at all.
Ready? Ready? Yes. All right, for the jury. Please, first briefly.
The people, when they're standing there, they're talking to the judge. Judge will come on camera here in just a minute when they're done.
All right, we are on the record. So both the state and the defense have no objections with letting you know that the witness who's sitting here, the person who's sitting there, is actually his attorney, Mr. Cornelius Cox. All right, just so you all know, in case you're wondering who that was. I know that I've told you time and again, sometimes students come in here and sometimes other people come in here just to view things, but he's actually here because he's his attorney. All right, state, call your next witness.
The state calls Versa Austin, Your Honor.
All right, could you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Sir?
Yeah.
All right, you may lower your hand. And if you'll state your name for the record.
Versa Austin.
All right, state.
Thank you, Judge. And Mr. Austin, to make sure that this microphone, if you just speak into it, if you need to, you don't have to get too close to it, but just make sure you speak up so that everybody can hear you. Okay, sir? Yeah, I mean, you have to answer out loud. Is that okay? Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, do you go by a nickname? Juicy. And that's how most people know you, is that correct? Yes, yes, sir. And do you live in San Antonio? Yes, sir. You live over there close to East Moto's apartment plex? Yes, sir. And what do you do over there, sir? We just walk around, hang around. And I've spoken with you before at your house, is that right? Yes, sir. And I spoke to you about a shooting. Do you recall that? Yes, sir. And do you remember that day of that shooting? Yes, sir. And do you remember being present when the shooting happened?
He gets really quiet.
Excuse me, sir. You need to answer the question. You want to re-ask your question?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Austin, do you recall being present during the shooting?
Mr. Austin? Mr. Austin? Mr. Austin, you need to answer the question. It's either yes or no. State, re-ask your question.
Mr. Austin, do you recall being present during the shooting?
Nope.
Okay. Mayor Pro-Tem?
Yes.
I'm going to show you what's marked. If you don't mind, move your hat. State exhibit number 19. Who's in that picture?
That's me.
State exhibit number 20. Who's in that picture?
That's me.
State exhibit number 21. Who's in that picture?
Me.
Okay. And we're going to state exhibit number 9. Mr. Austin, are you familiar with this this video here?
Yes, sir.
They're playing a video that we can't see.
Started at 15:42:38.
You can see the reflection in the window of the down at the back of the courtroom.
Mr. Austin, if you please look at the video and tell me if you recognize the individuals walking past the trash can right now, walking down the sidewalk from the left of this video.
Nope. None of them. I'll stay in one spot too long.
I'm sorry, Dad?
I'll stay in one spot too long. I move around.
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear it.
Can you repeat that, please?
I do not stay in one spot. I do not stay in one spot at all. I move around.
Okay. You move around. So somebody else said that you were in this video, they'd be wrong?
Yeah, I was in the video, but when I hear gunshots, I don't stay in one spot.
I'm sorry, did you say if you hear gunshots?
When I hear gunshots, I don't stay in one spot. I move around.
So if you hear gunshots, you move around.
Yep.
That's smart. If you look at the video again, can you tell me if you see yourself in it? Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
Using this highlighter, I'm going to point to somebody.
Yes.
Do you recall who that is?
That's me.
That's you in the video.
Defense comes up to see where he is pointing. This is appropriate.
Sort of standing close to that barbecue pit or trash can. Is that right, sir?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start it at the video. The next video is 15:45:07. You're still standing in the same spot. Is that correct?
Yep.
Do you see a person? Do you know an individual by the name of Kino?
Why you ask me these questions?
Excuse me, sir. You are just to listen to the question and answer the question. You're not allowed to ask questions. Do you understand? All right, ask your question.
Do you know an individual by the name of Kino? Sir, Mr. Austin.
Just one moment. Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have you step outside for just 2 minutes, please. Everyone, please rise for the jurors.
Yeah, this is a hostile witness. I don't know. He may be he may have some mental issues. He may have some cognitive issues that have to be worked through and worked with. And when a crime's committed, you don't get to choose your witnesses, right? You don't get to choose. And I'd like a very observant, very articulate person who has a fantastic memory to observe the crime. You get who you get. And this gentleman who says he walks around. That's what he does in his neighborhood. He walks around down there. It happens to be a witness. And so the judge is trying to compel him, because that's the law, to participate in this process. And he does not want to, for one reason or another. The person in almost the middle of the screen, just to the in the green box, I believe that's the defendant who's sitting there, and he's not making eye contact. He's not looking at him. Welcome, Ugly Betty. Good to have you here. That's a nice rock crawler. Is that a rock crawler in your profile picture? I assume that's Betty. So the attorneys here with the mics turned off are explaining to him that that he's compelled to answer the questions. He doesn't get a choice. Unless he's going to plead the fifth, he's got to be here. Craig, I don't know this individual's background, so I assume that the judge is more aware of the situation, and so I'm going completely off her read and her take on this, because she's a smart lady, a very smart lady. Queen Olive, welcome. This is happening outside the presence of the jury, and the gentleman who's standing in front of the bench is the defense, because he's allowed to be there for this part. He's just making sure that everything's on the up and up that's said here. I do see the Louisiana Parole Board is in action right now, so we might jump to that here in just a minute. No, it picks up wherever you leave off. Picks up where you leave off. Michelle, I'm going to be probably streaming a half day today because I need to prepare this afternoon for our fun interview tomorrow with the wife of attorney Greg Anderson, and I guess the wife and partner of attorney Greg Anderson from the Maya Kowalski trial. We'll get, let's see. Hoping to get confirmation to see if her sister Katie and Kelly's a paralegal. That would be really cool. All right, jury's coming back in. We'll give this for a few more minutes.
All right, everyone, please be seated. All right, state it's your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Austin, as jury went out, I was asking you a question. Do you know an individual by the name of Keno?
No, sir.
You don't? So Did you speak with me at your house, Mr. Austin?
Yes, sir.
On your porch?
Yes, sir.
And your mom was there, right?
Sir.
Her name's Maggie?
Yes, sir.
You remember talking to me about this shooting in front of her?
I told you, when I move, when I go, when I be in a neighborhood, I'm telling you, I was staying one, I do not stand in one spot, I moved around when I hear shooting. That's it.
Mr. Austin, can you look at me? Do you recall talking about this shooting with me on your front porch?
I don't know.
Is that a lie, Mr. Austin?
I say I don't know.
So you don't recall me being on your front porch?
Objection, Your Honor. Asked and answered.
Overruled.
Sir, do you recall me being on your front porch?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall us speaking about the shooting? Sir, do you recall us talking about the shooting?
No, sir.
You don't. Do you recall telling me who did the shooting?
I told you, when I hear shootings, I don't stay in one spot.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I told you, when I hear gunshots, I don't stay in one spot.
That indicates that you were at the shooting, sir. Is that correct?
Yeah, but I left though.
Yeah, you did leave after the shooting. Correct?
No.
So when did you leave?
I left before the shooting started. I left.
So if I have a video showing you running from the scene after the shooting, would that video be a lie? Sir, would that video be a lie? Sir, would that video be a lie?
Yes, sir. I left. I left before the shooting started.
I'm going to show you what state exhibit number 9 again, a different angle of the video.
Clearly, he talked with the prosecutors before, and according to the questions, it seems that he told them who had done the shooting.
Kind of started at 1549.
There's a video of him being there during the shooting,
Sir,
or running from it.
And defense, you're welcome to move around.
Yes, Judge. We're okay for right now.
Sir, can you please look at the video? Do you need to move closer? Sir, would you like to move closer so you can view the video? You've seen this video before, haven't you? Have I shown you this video? And did you ID yourself in that video? That you witnessed the shooting? Can you tell the jury why you won't answer? Your Honor, the state would move it to evidence State Exhibitor 19, 20, and 21. We'll tender to defense for any objections.
These, I believe, are the three
We
still
have no
images
objections, Your Honor.
with the
And
video.
that's 19, 20, and 21.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Show
those
the-
exhibits
the
are admitted
witness.
without objection.
Show the witness at the scene.
Mr. Austin, or go by Juicy, is that correct? Sir?
Mr. Austin, you need to answer the question. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
On State Exhibit number 19, it's been entered. That is you in that photo, is that correct?
Yes.
That's you leaving after the shooting from the parking lot. Is that correct?
I left before the shooting started. I left.
So the video is a lie. That's a question.
I'm gonna object to the form of the question.
Your Honor, this.
All right, that objection will be overruled.
Thank you. That video is a lie then. Is that correct? Is that what you're telling this jury? Sir, can you answer the question, please? Was that video a lie? Or are you lying right now?
Nope.
So the video is a lie? Or are you lying? Which one?
You know, I used to be a special ed, man. I slow reason.
This is we're gonna cut from this one. That you feel so
Mr.
bad
Austin, do you
for
recall
him.
talking to me on your front porch? You were not acting like this. Do you recall that? Do you recall that, sir? Sir, do you recall that? May I propose to the jury, Your Honor?
Yes.
So anyway, that's how that one went down. This trial that's still going on. The reason why the prosecutor is being so aggressive with this witness, who gives the appearance of having special needs, was what was there at the very end, where he says, "We talked to you already, and you were not like this." Meaning that the prosecutor feels that this gentleman is not special needs, or not, at least to the extent that that is being presented there. So interesting, but that's what the prosecutor has to deal with this trial. They've got a witness who's on video, who they've talked to, who prior to the trial told them who did it, and now has completely had a change of heart, does not want to participate for whatever the reason. And this case, it's still ongoing. It might fall through completely because a witness will not cooperate. Let's see let's see. We have another court we want to jump to right down here.
Instead, we constantly trying to explain to our kids who our mother was.
This is the Louisiana Board of Parole.
Have you ever imagined trying to explain to a child what a cemetery looks like, why she's not there, not here with us? Or when they ask to see their grandmother, you have to take them to a burial plot, a tombstone that can't speak words of comfort back or give them reassurance that everything is okay. Have you ever opened a piece of mail and thought you seen a ghost, asking yourself, why does God keep punishing us? We all received a letter from this attorney office back in April, not knowing not one of us told the other one that we had received this letter because it was going to open a door that we all tried to keep closed. Within 30 years, we have never had anyone from the defendant's side check up on us. But what amazed us, as soon as Governor Edwards announced he was against the death penalty, the office engaged a defense victim outreach specialist to inform us of the new development in the case. We started trying to place pieces together. We made phone calls to figure out what was going on, and that's when we was informed of Broadway petition to appeal. Once again, how can you ever heal from something if it's a revolving door? Our family has been through so much, and another we just devastating to the families. This not only affects us, but our kids, who now try to process what's going on, learning about the unspoken, unfiltered truth of our mother's death. that we try to protect them from. They never knew the impact of our mom's death had on us. They just thought, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Somebody called. They just started trying to place pieces together, make a phone call to figure out what's going on. I'm sorry. Our family has been through so much in another, just devastating to our families. This not only affects us, but we're trying to process what's going on, learning the unspoken truth of our mother's death. They just started trying to notice the trends and behavior when it comes to certain things and milestones. As I close, I want you guys to understand the hurt, the pain, and love that I can't get back. Imagine yourself at 14 being woken up to your news that your mother was shot and killed, not because she was doing anything wrong, but because she was serving and protecting the citizens of Baton Rouge. Now you and your sibling has to figure out life. Who's going to provide for you? Where you going to live? Are we going to be able to stay together? All while prepping to bury your only parent you have. But we accept the fact that Mr. Broadway continues to breathe life, get 3 meals a day, continue to have conversation and see his family, a privilege that we can't experience and haven't experienced for the last 30 years. But we have to talk to the tombstone that don't speak back. When will we be allowed?
Ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you wrap it up for us, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'm finishing up. When will we be allowed to feel like the system isn't broken and hears our cries? All we want is justice that's overdue, and I don't have the luxury to know what a true mother loves feel like. I'm opposed to this petition for appeal for clemency. This is something that we deal with all the time, and we just on my behalf and my sister and brothers, we're opposed to this clemency petition.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. Ms. Lee.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak. I have been silent for far too long, almost 31 years to be exact. And not to take anything away from Betty, God rest her soul, but I lived in the shadows. When this tragedy is talked about, I'm not even spoken of. I have, however, been living this every single day of my life. January 7th will be 31 years ago this happened. This tragic event took everything from me. I live with survivor's guilt, and at times it's more than I can bear. In the past, I've lived in fear. I would look out my window and feel so hopeless, sad, and depressed. Never saw the glass half full. Not long after everything happened, I found myself locked up in a mental hospital for 3.5 weeks. I tried to heal and move on with my life, but it felt impossible. I saw a therapist for over 3 years. I couldn't understand why this happened to me. How could anyone do this? As time passed, I learned to pick myself up and try to move forward. Every day was a challenge. I lived every day of my life with PTSD. I will for the rest of my days on earth. My coworkers, my friends, my family, my neighbors know never to walk up on me without my full attention, because it sends me into a dark place of fear and anxiousness. Please understand, by you doing this brings pain into all of our lives. We will never get back what was taken from us. I ask and I beg of you, please do not do this. One life was lost and several lives were changed forever. By reducing the sentence from death to life imprisonment, you are diminishing the atrocity of what was done to us. Betty died, her children's lives changed forever. I lived with this my whole life. Our lives mean more than this. And I will say, without any uncertainty, I know who I identify. And I stand tall and 100% certain I know the man that I saw that night, on that rainy night, was Andre Broadway, without any doubt in my mind. And I beg of you, please don't do this. We've lived in pain for so long. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Daniels.
So the speaker's up at the podium, the center picture on the top.
I stand before you in opposition. My name is Myron Daniels, and I represent the Baton Rouge Police Department as Chief of Staff. I think this is one of those events, if you grew up in Baton Rouge, where you were when you heard that it occurred. I also, not a police officer at that time, but over the last 25 plus years in our agency, I get to watch and see that the time still hadn't healed. This is still one of the most common topics discussed in our police department, and we're still assisting a lot of our officers who were there or who were friends or who actually responded to the scene that night because they're still in the healing process. We're in great opposition of this request. We ask that you please deny it. And again, we pray for the family, law enforcement, as well as personal family.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ferris?
Chair, Judge. I'm Brett Ferris.
Okay, we've got
police chief.
a lot of people speaking against this one. We're going to jump to another court because the audio is really bad on this. We're going to take Judge Wolf. Let's jump to Judge
Basically
Wolf.
blocking out a period of time that would normally be our trial dates. So we're going to give you the 24th of May, 28th of May, 30th, and the 31st.
That previous parole board hearing, there was somebody sentenced to death.
24th.
And the governor is against the death penalty, and so they've been trying to roll everyone's sentences back to a life in prison.
24th day of May.
That's what they're discussing. They're not releasing him right now.
2023 CR 92, State versus Leslie Francis Baker.
Leslie Francis Baker, step on up.
Baker, you're here to be arraigned on a charge of aggravated assault and reckless endangerment. You have the right to an attorney. Do you wish to have a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Are you planning on hiring a lawyer?
I need some time to see if I can afford one.
All right. We'll give you some time because we're going to have to assign a trial date for you that'll be some months away. I'm going to give you a copy of this indictment. I can either read it to you in open court or you can read it yourself. Do you want to read it yourself? Do you want me to read it to you?
My copy's fine, sir.
All right. We'll show he's waived the formal reading of the indictment. I need a trial date, General.
March 14th.
March 14th for trial. That would make, what's his appearance day in March?
March 11th.
March 11th for the last day of the enter a plea. And you have an opinion that's January next?
Yes.
All right. Give me what's the arraignment day in January?
January.
January 8th. I'm going to give you 3 dates. The first date you'll need to come back is for your attorney status, which is January the 8th. That's to let us know that you've been able to hire a lawyer. The next one is going to be March the 11th, which is the last day you'll have to enter a plea if you want to dispose of it. And then your trial date will be on March the 14th. For those are written at the top, will show that you've been arraigned. A plea of not guilty is entered, and it's set for those days.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey, Judge.
Yes.
Is YouTube on? Okay. Well, that helps me. It doesn't help the state's recording, but it helps me.
Okay. Yeah, it is. Stewart County Jail is now
YouTube
coming in. I'm going to go ahead and admit them. (2023) CR 46 State versus Charles T. Barfield.
Yes, Ron. I think we have a settlement on that. Barfield's coming up.
These arraignments right here.
I believe I have everything set up here, except the matter of his jail credits. We're going to be entering a plea, and pass this up, please, Your Honor.
All right, I've been handed a document indicating that he's going to be entering a plea of guilty to count 1, which is driving under the influence of an intoxicant first offense, and receive a sentence of 11 months and 29 days in Stewart County Jail, suspended to probation after 48 hours, a loss of license for 1 year. He will be required to participate in a VIP victim impact school or victim impact or complete the DUI school, $350 fine and cost. Mr. Barfield, raise your right hand. Let's place you on the oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
State your full name for the record, please. State your full name for the record.
Charles T. Barfield.
Mr. Barfield, I'm going to go over your rights with you that you have in this case, and I need to make sure that you understand those rights and what you're giving up to enter this plea. So you need to listen and then answer to me on the record, please. You are charged here with driving under the influence of an intoxicant. Have you seen or been shown a copy of those charges, talked them over with Mr. Clemens, and you and he discussed the range of punishment you're facing as well as any possible defenses you might have? Well, it's indicated that you want to enter a plea of guilty. Do you understand you have a right to plead not guilty and to have a speedy and public trial by jury?
I do.
You understand if you went to trial, you would have the right to have a lawyer and have one appointed for you, as I've done with the public defender.
Okay.
You understand that if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent until such time, if ever, the state proves your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of all 12 jurors, and their verdict would have to be unanimous before you could be convicted.
Yes, you are.
You understand that if you went to trial, you and your lawyer could confront and cross-examine every witness the state called to testify, and you could bring in your own witnesses by the use of a subpoena.
Yes, you are.
You understand if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent. You would not have to testify or prove anything, and there would be no inference of guilt arising because you did not testify in your own trial.
Yes, you are.
You understand that if you went to trial and you were found guilty, you could appeal the conviction and the sentence imposed to the Court of Criminal Appeals and have a lawyer appointed to help you with that appeal.
Yes,
you understand that by entering this plea of guilty, you're waiving your right to a trial and to an appeal. All I'm going to do is approve what your lawyer has worked out for you.
yes, you are.
But do you understand that's going to result in a conviction that will be on your record in the future to make more severe the punishment you receive if you're ever again convicted of a crime? I've been handed a document here that is a notice of, have you gone over this with him, Mr. Clemens?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I handed you the one that he had not signed. I have gone over this with him.
Hand that back to him, please.
And have a copy that I'm going to give to him. You.
All right, Mr. Barfield, I've been handed a document indicating that you have gone over these rights that are the notice of enhancement with Mr. Clemens. Do you understand that essentially this document means that every time you're convicted, it carries a greater punishment because of your prior conviction? Do you understand that?
Yes, sure.
Have you gone over this with Mr. Clemens? Do you fully understand this document?
Yes, sure.
Any questions about it? Do you have any questions about your notice of enhancement? All right. You understand everything I've explained to you? Do you understand everything I've explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you want to enter a plea of guilty to this charge and waive your right to an attorney, to a trial and to an appeal?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you understand if you plead guilty, the court of the state may ask you questions about the offense, and if you answer those questions under oath and on the record and in the presence of your lawyer, your answers could be later used against you in a prosecution for perjury if we discover that you are lying under oath.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is your decision to plead guilty today voluntary?
Lots of warnings here.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No, Your Honor.
You understand I have to have facts presented to me that will support a finding that you are in fact guilty.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you guilty of driving under the influence on this occasion?
Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's services?
Yes, Your
You
Honor.
feel like Mr. Clemens has done a good job of representing you competently?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Clemens, you know of any reason you should not enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
The Charles Barfield and docket number 2023 CR 46 upon your plea of guilty to count 1, for driving under the influence. You're found guilty, sentenced to 11 months and 29 days in the county jail. That will be suspended after you serve 48 hours with credit for time served. Loss of license for 1 year. Mr. Clemens will surrender his license. Go ordered to participate in the victim impact panel or complete the DUI school. He's ordered to pay a $350 fine and cost. When will he report to the jail to begin serving his sentence?
Your Honor, as I mentioned, I apologize to you, Mr. Barker, but there has come doubt this morning as to whether he has already served that time or not. I haven't been able to get confirmation yet. May I ask that we submit that I have him perhaps wait this morning to see if I can resolve.
Well, let's just set a date for him to I have to put a date within the next 30 days for him to report. If he served his time, then you just put that notice with the clerk's office and we won't have to report. If he has some time yet to serve, then we need to put it down.
He believes he has it, so I think that's a fine solution. Could I start this weekend? Could he start this weekend, Your Honor?
All right. He can start this weekend on the, that would be the 17th at 6 p.m. We'll report to service whatever time he's got left.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You. All right, we have some inmates that are here. Is there any way we can take those inmates up while
I also have two TDOC guys.
let's take the TDOC people up first.
So they're bringing in the Department of Corrections guys first. And then we've got some inmates down there that don't want to be there anymore. Susan, is this from your neck of the woods? You're saying, hey, I recognize these people.
This is Mr. Gerald Lovelace.
Yes, Your Honor.
And we were here today showing status on the motion for new trial. Is that where we are?
Yes, Your Honor. The motion has been submitted and we would like to go forward. I think it's a fairly extensive memorandum. It's about 30 pages. And I think, Your Honor, likely would probably want to review the memorandum prior to ruling. I can say, I'm sure you recall this trial, Your Honor, there were multiple co-defendants, and the biggest issue, I think, there's multiple issues laid out in the memorandum, but the biggest issue is the issue of the suppression of the interview. I know that Mr. Stevens filed a request for interlocutory appeal, which was denied. I do think the law has shifted a little bit since the trial, but I do think the court would probably need to review the memorandum at length before.
Well, I am going to need to, if you've got a 30-page memorandum on a motion for new trial in this case, as lengthy as the trial was, and obviously I'm going to need to review that.
I understand.
Question becomes as to when we can get that set. I'm not scheduled to be back here until May. And I'm hesitant to delay it that long, but I don't know that I have any open days between now and then to do that.
That's understandable, Your Honor. Mr. Lovelace understands the schedule.
Well, let's set it for the May docket call, which is May 13th. And if I find that we can do it at an earlier date, then my assistant will get in touch with you and we'll try to arrange that. So, okay. May 13th.
Thank you, Judge.
I need that file also. So just pull that out so that I can have that memorandum to review.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you.
So he's going to go back to sitting in jail until May, when this issue can be brought up again to see if he gets a new trial.
Are you and Danny Bullard? Oh. Mr. Fennell, you were set for trial on Friday, and today is your day to submit a settlement if that's what is the case. Have you heard from Mr. Fennell?
I have, Judge. He said he was going to be running a little bit late in his parking. He's going to be here, Mr. Edson. So we also have a case with him, but I've not seen either one of them.
Well, Mr. Boone, your lawyer's coming, but he's apparently got someplace else to be first, so we're gonna ask you to step back and we'll try to bring you out when he's here. What, who are the other inmates that we have in the courtroom?
I have both inmates, Mr. Leonard Hopson and William Strange.
Are you ready on them?
Yes, sir.
So Leonard Thompson.
Leonard Hopson.
Hopson.
Yes, sir. Your Honor, if I may pass up a proposed settlement. Your Honor, on Mr. Hopson, on count 7, that would be, we're proposing that be amended to a misdemeanor evading. He would plead guilty, 11 months, 29 suspended to probation after service of 60 days, which I think he has 62 days. He would plead guilty to count 3, reckless driving, 6 months suspended to be consecutive. And then count 8, resisting arrest, 6 months suspended to supervised probation. They would all be consecutive for an effective 2-year probated sentence after service of 60 days. He has served that 60 days.
All right, Mr. Hopson, raise your right hand. Let's push you on the road.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
State your full name for the record. You can put your hand down now. Mr. Hopson, you heard what your lawyer has said, and it's indicated you want to enter a plea of no contest or nolo contendere. I want to make sure you understand. What that means is that you're not going to admit you did anything wrong, but you're not going to deny it in order to take advantage of this agreement your lawyer has worked out. And the state is then going to give me the facts that will support a finding of guilt, despite the fact that you're not admitting it. Do you understand that? Yes. But do you understand what you're charged with, and have you seen or been shown a copy of the charges, talking over with Ms. Phillips, you as she discussed the range of punishment you're facing, as well as any possible defenses you might have?
Yes, sir.
Well, it's indicated that you want to enter this plea of no contest. Do you understand you can plead not guilty and have a speedy and public trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
You understand if you went to trial, you would have the right to have a lawyer and have one appointed for you if necessary.
Yes, sir.
You understand if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent until such time, if ever the state proved your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of all 12 jurors, and their verdict would have to be unanimous before you could be convicted of anything.
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent. You would not have to testify or prove anything. There would be no inference of guilt that would arise because you did not testify at your own trial. You understand you and your lawyer could confront and cross-examine every witness the state might call to testify, and you can bring in your own witnesses by using a subpoena.
Yes, sir.
You understand if you went to trial and you were found guilty, you could appeal the conviction and the sentence imposed to the Court of Criminal Appeals and have a lawyer appointed to help you with that appeal. You understand that by entering this plea of no contest, you're waiving your right to a trial and to an appeal. All I'm going to do is approve what your lawyer has worked out. You understand that's going to result in 3 misdemeanor convictions, and they're going to be on your record in the future to make more severe the punishment you receive if you're ever again convicted of a crime. You understand everything I've explained to you. Do you want to enter the plea of no contest and waive your right to a trial and to an appeal?
Yes, sir.
Now, you understand, or rather, is your decision to plead guilty, no contest today, voluntary?
Yes. Anybody
forcing you to do this? You understand I have to have facts presented to me that will find you guilty of this appeal, of this charge, rather. And if you'll listen as the state tells me what
is this another DUI?
Trial.
Your Honor, on March 3rd of 2020, officers attempted to pull Mr. Hopson over for speeding. He began driving recklessly and ran off the left side of the road. He ran from the vehicle. Officers caught Mr. Hopson, and after they caught him, he was pulling away while they were attempting to put him under arrest.
I'm not asking that you agree with those facts, but do you understand that's what the state's evidence would be?
Yes.
You still wish to plead no contest according to this agreement?
Yes.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's services? Yes. I feel like Ms. Phillips has done a good job of representing you competently. Ms. Phillips, you know of any reason you should not enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Then Lennon Hopson in docket number 2021 CR 24, upon your plea of no contest to count 7, I find you guilty, sentence you to 11 months and 29 days in the county jail that will be suspended to supervised probation after you serve 60 days. Count 3, reckless driving, you're found guilty and sentenced to 6 months suspended to supervised probation that will be served consecutively to count 7 in order to pay a $150 fine and cost. Count 8, resisting arrest, you're found guilty, sentenced to 6 months, suspended to supervised probation, consecutive to count 3 for an effective 2-year probation. All the remaining counts are dismissed as a part of the agreement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Phillips, you said you have another one.
I have Mr. Strange,
What's the name? I'm sorry.
William Strange. I may pass forward the proposal.
I've been handed a document indicating Mr. Strange is going to enter plea no contest to count 4 and amended charge of simple possession of methamphetamine. Receive a sentence of 11 months and 29 days to serve, $750 fine and cost. Count 5, drug paraphernalia, 1129 to serve, consecutive to count 4. And that would be a $150 fine and cost, effectively 2 1129s to serve. All the remaining counts will be dismissed, and he gets credit from May of 2021 to November 13th of 2023. Mr. Strange, raise your right hand. Let's place you on your oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
State your full name for the record. Mr. Strange. Mr. Strange, you've heard me go over what the agreement is, but have you seen or been shown a copy of those charges, talked them over with Ms. Phillips, or you as she discussed the range of punishment you're facing as well as any possible defenses you might have? Well, as indicated, you want to enter a plea of no contest. No contest plea means you understand what the facts are. You're not going to admit you did anything, but you're not going to deny it. And the state will then supply me with evidence or facts that will support a finding of guilt. You understand that? You understand that you have a right to plead not guilty and to have a speedy and public trial by jury in this court. You understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to have a lawyer and to have one appointed for you if necessary.
All right, we're gonna bail on this. I'm looking for some of our favorites, like Judge Simpson. I'm not seeing him.
Your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of all 12 jurors, and their verdict will have to be unanimous before you can be convicted of anything. You understand you and your lawyer at trial will be able to confront and cross-examine every witness the state called to testify, and you can bring in your own witnesses by the use of a subpoena. You understand that if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent. You would not have to testify or prove anything, and no inference of guilt would arise because you did not testify at your own trial. You understand that if you went to trial and you were found guilty, you could appeal the conviction and the sentence imposed to the Court of Criminal Appeals and have a lawyer appointed to help you with that appeal. You understand that by pleading no contest, you're waiving your right to a trial and to an appeal. All I'm going to do is approve what your lawyer has worked out. But you understand that's going to result in 2 misdemeanor convictions that are going to be on your record in the future to make more severe the punishment you receive if you're ever again convicted of a crime. You understand everything I've explained to you. You want to plead no contest and waive your right to a trial and to an appeal. Is your decision to plead no contest today voluntary? Anybody forcing you to do this? You understand I have to have facts supplied to me to support a finding of guilt in order to accept this plea. I want you to listen as the state tells me what their evidence would be if this case went to trial.
Your Honor, on May the 10th, 2021, officers got a call for suspicious vehicles on Lick Creek Road. They went down to the scene. The co-defendant, Susan McMahon, was outside the vehicle. Mr. Strange was sitting in the driver's seat of the vehicle. The search was done of the vehicle and meth was found in there, as well as drug paraphernalia, including cut straws, scales, baggies, and pipes.
All right, Mr. Strange, I'm not asking that you agree with those facts, but do you understand that's what the state's evidence would be if this case went to trial? You want to go ahead and enter this plea according to this agreement. Are you satisfied with your attorney's services? I feel like Ms. Phillips has done a good job of representing you confidently. Ms. Phillips, do you know of any reason you should not enter this plea?
No, you won't.
Anything further from the state?
No.
William Strange, your docket number 2021 CR 73, upon your plea of no contest to the charge count 4, found you guilty and sentenced you to 11 months and 29 days in the county jail to be served with credit for time served, $750 fine and cost. Count 5, you're found guilty of drug paraphernalia, sentenced to 11 months and 29 days in the county jail. That will be served consecutive to count 4 and a $150 fine and cost. You'll receive credit for time served, and all the remaining counts are dismissed.
I think
thank you, Your Honor.
The 5 women on the bottom.
We have one more inmate.
There may be new arraignments. Sometimes those can be interesting. So I'm trying to hold off until we get to that.
2 more inmates. What's your name, sir?
Vargas. Last name Vargas. Judge, I represent Mr. Vargas. He's waiting for a plea.
All right, let's go ahead and take it up.
Okay. They're taking forever.
pass up two plea agreements. It's got a docket number 2023 CR 60 and CR 61. Judge, what I'm gonna also do is pass up a waiver of a TBI application fee.
All right. He also has a new indictment. Were you aware of that? To be arraigned on a simple possession, drug paraphernalia, and public intoxication.
Take to address that, Judge.
Pardon?
Judge, I guess once he's arraigned, the stage is going to acknowledge that case in its entirety to prepare to order such.
All right. We'll show that the defendant's waived the formal reading of the indictment, enter a plea of not guilty to that charge, and upon his having been arraigned, the state is moving to dismiss that charge. All right. Then with the remaining charges we were talking about, Mr. Vargas is going to be entering a plea in docket number 2023 CR 60, count 1, prohibited weapon. We will be entering a plea under 4035 316?
Yes, sir, judicial diversion. It's on 313.
If he's approved by the Department of Safety.
Judge, my client understands that doesn't come by approved. It's going to remain on his record.
Now, docket numbers, and he would have 3 years Tennessee Department of Corrections suspended supervised probation in order to pay the court costs, and if he qualified, it'll be under 4035 313. Docket number 2023 CR 61, count 2, he would receive on possession of marijuana 11 months and 29 days in a county jail, suspended to supervised probation. That would be consecutive to his probation under this prior one. He would undergo an alcohol and drug assessment, follow all treatment recommendations, pay a $250 fine and cost. Count 3 is 11 months and 29 days in the county jail, suspended to supervised probation, consecutive to count 2. He would be ordered to pay a $150 fine and cost. And again, is this also pursuant to judicial diversion if he's approved on all of those?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Vargas, raise your right hand. Let's place you under oath.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
State your full name for the record.
Michael Vargas Jr.
You can put your hand down.
I'm sorry, what is your last name? Is it B or F? Okay, Vargas. All right. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Vargas, you are charged here in 2 different indictments with a number of charges, and I've just gone over what the agreement is, but have you seen or been shown a copy of those charges, talked them over with your lawyer, and you and Mr. Riggins discuss the range of punishment you're facing as well as any possible offenses you might have?
Yes.
Well, it's indicated that you have that you want to enter a plea of is this a guilty plea under that statute?
It's no contest, Judge.
A no contest plea under that simply means you're not going to admit you did anything wrong, but you're not going to deny it. And the state's going to give me some facts in a little bit to support the finding of guilt in all of these charges. Although that finding of guilt and the entry of a guilty plea or guilty finding is going to be deferred if you were qualified under the statute. And what that means is that under 4035 316, because you don't have a prior criminal record, allegedly, if the state agrees and they submit the finding that you don't have a prior disqualifying conviction, then these matters will be deferred for a period of 3 years. Well, actually it's 3 plus 1129, so it would be 5 years total. And as a result of that, or if you serve out your probation without any problems and you successfully complete it, do everything you're supposed to do under this agreement, then you could come back in 5 years and ask that this record be expunged. You understand that? Yes, sir. That you understand that if you were to violate your probation, and that would mean that it would become a permanent conviction on your record. In addition to that, he could be brought back on the felony charge at least and be resentenced according to the law within the range for that particular offense. Do you understand that? Yes. All right. Do you understand that you have a right to plead not guilty and to have a speedy and public trial by jury? Do you understand if you went to trial, you'd have the right to have a lawyer, have one appointed for you if necessary? Yes, sir. You understand if you went to trial, you would be presumed to be innocent until such time if ever the state proved your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt to the satisfaction of all 12 jurors, and their verdict would have to be unanimous before you could be convicted of anything. You understand that if you went to trial, you and your lawyer could confront and cross-examine every witness the state called to testify against you, and you can bring in your own witnesses by using a subpoena. You understand that you would be presumed to be innocent. You would not have to testify at your trial or prove anything, and no inference of guilt would arise because you did not testify at your trial. You understand that if you went to trial and you were found guilty, you could appeal the conviction and the sentence imposed to the Court of Criminal Appeals and have a lawyer appointed to help you with that appeal. Speak up just a little bit. We're recording all of this, and that's why it's important that we get it on the record, okay? You understand everything I've explained to you?
Absolutely.
Do you understand that's going to result, as I explained to you, if you successfully complete your probation, you can have your record expunged. It won't happen automatically. You'll have to apply for it. But you can have your record wiped clean as though it never happened. By contrast, if you violate the probation, then these will become permanent convictions and be on your record in the future to make more severe the punishment you receive if you're ever again convicted of a crime. You understand that? Right. You understand everything I've explained to you?
Yes, sir.
You want to plead no contest according to this agreement and waive your right to a trial and to an appeal. Is your decision to plead no contest today voluntary?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this? You understand I have to have facts presented to me to support a finding that you are guilty in order to accept this plea. And I want you to listen as the state tells me what their evidence would be if this case went to trial.
Your Honor, in 2023 CR 60, on December the 4th, 2021, Mr. Vargas admitted to making a fake bomb in his home in Cumberland City in Stewart County and sent pictures to an individual stating that if the individual came to his home, it would explode. On 2023 CR 61, just for the record, Your Honor, count 1, prohibited weapon is being dismissed upon forfeiture of the homemade weapon. And I believe it's also on the agreement there under the accounts that are dismissed at settlement. But on June the 19th of 2022, Stewart County deputy responded to a report of a suspicious vehicle at Highway 1349, Highway 149 East in Stewart County. Found Mr. Vargas in possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia. And this all occurred in Stewart County.
All right. Mr. Vargas, I'm not asking that you agree with those facts, but you understand that's what the state's evidence would be if this case went to trial.
Yes,
You still wish to enter this plea of no contest?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's services?
Yes.
You feel like Mr. Vargas, Mr. Riggins has done a good job of representing you competently?
Absolutely.
Mr. Riggins, do you know of any reason he should not enter this plea?
No, sir.
Then Michael Vargas, in docket number 2023 CR 60, upon your plea of no contest to count 1, I find you guilty under 4035-316. I defer the entry of that sentence for 3 years. You're suspended to supervised probation order to pay the court costs, as if you qualify under judicial diversion. If not, it becomes a permanent conviction. Number 2023 CR 61. Again, your sentence on count 2 is 11 months and 29 days in the county jail, suspended to supervised probation, consecutive to 2023 CR 60. As a condition of your probation to undergo an alcohol and drug assessment, follow all the recommendations, pay a $250 fine and cost. Count 3, you're sentenced to 11 months and 29 days in the county jail, suspended to supervised probation, consecutive to count 2, or to pay a $150 fine and cost. And all of these are entered under 4035-316 if in fact you qualify for that judicial diversion. Count 1 is dismissed, conditional on the homemade device being forfeited to the Stewart County for destruction. That's the judge of the court. Thank you.
And now,
Mr. Riggins, you represent this lady.
I do. This is Miss Christina Woodrum's docket number 2023 CR 57. What she's going to be doing is entering a no contest plea.
Okay, we're gonna
passing up a.
We're gonna bail. These pleas are not the most exciting thing. Although the last guy was pleading to making a fake explosive, which we don't hear often. That was interesting. All right. Interesting to get a suspended sentence for making a fake explosive. Yeah, interesting set of facts there that led to that. Melissa, I just realized that's in my area. Yeah, it's just down the road. All right. Let me tell you again what we're doing. Most of today, I'm going to be prepping for an interview tomorrow. We have an interview with Jennifer Anderson, who is the wife and law partner for Greg Anderson, and she's teased me with a couple things. I'm not sure if what's going to come through or not, but she's let me know that they may have some audio recordings that were not played in court of Beata and Jack that they can provide for us that you guys might find very insightful. So we're looking for that. She says there may be a chance that she's joined on the stream by her sister, who also works in law with them, and one of the paralegals who has all the details, as you know, who runs all the documents in the background for the trial. So that would be awesome. That's going to happen tomorrow. And that's going to be at 12 o'clock. So we'll do a morning show, and then we're going to have a break, and then at 12 o'clock we'll start the interview. And I believe she's open to answering questions from you guys, so please bring your questions that you have. Realize that there are some things they can't explain or can't talk about, especially if there's any pending litigation. We'll have to steer clear of that most likely, but that's going to be very, very interesting. Anything else we want to do today? It's a quiet day for court hopping. There's not much out there, or not much I can bring you. Does anybody else have any complaints, comments, criticism, comedy, anything like that? Joe, yes, they can speak with an appeal still in the workings. What we're going to talk about is not going to be anything that could jeopardize the verdict. There's a fire truck by my house. Woo, woo. All right. There's pending litigation since. Yeah, we're not going to be talking about that. Rock ID, I think I'm going with a Jasper. Those who know, I cut a couple of rocks open over the weekend. The rocks that I picked up while fishing out west almost 6 years ago. And I picked them up with this express purpose of saying, I think the inside of these rocks are absolutely beautiful. And they don't look like much on the outside, but I cut them and they were beautiful. And I posted them to the community page on my YouTube channel, so you can see them over there. Michelle, so the rebroadcasting of Zoom only applies to certain courts? Yes, only certain courts do it. Mesa, I think Rob posted that over on his channel. I've got a copy. I have not posted that. So it's all right. So yes, the interview is going to be tomorrow, Vero. Super excited about that. I've got to do some stuff just to make sure that they're good with like technology wise, that the setup works. And so we're going to be doing some connections and stuff. Hopefully this afternoon, just a quick test and make sure everything's on board. I've got thumbnails to build. I've got questions to build. I want it to be perfect, obviously, because we've got an amazing guest, and it's going to be amazing. So. I'll just tell you, just in talking to her over the weekend, the background about what was happening, about that firm, the law firm, and how this all went down is incredible. I think you'll love that story. Let's see. Valerie, what was your question, Valerie? Let's see. Do you think the first jury on... Yeah. The juror's not going to do any interviews right now for a little while, following legal advice just to make sure that they don't do anything that jeopardizes the verdict. So it'll be... But when the juror's ready to talk, I think he will. But yes, I think that was verified. Evie, I'm just going, those rocks, I'm saying they're both Jasper. I don't know. They're very different. One is a very, it seems like it would crumble when crushed, and the other one is much more solid. Found the rocks in the Weber River. The Weber River runs really high during spring, and then the rest of the summer it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And there's an area that there's just lots of rocks about this big that have been washed down from the Wasatch Mountains over the months. So you never know where it came from, but beautiful. Parrot Court, you're yellow. Love this channel. Thanks as always. Parrot Court, thank you very much. Good to have you in yellow. Mandy, you'll have to go check out the that post on the community page on the YouTube channel just to let me know what you think the rocks are. Will I be joining Rob again anytime? Love hearing you on the same stream. I'd love to. I just don't know when our, which trials we follow or when our schedules line up. He's normally on in the evenings because he works during the day. I'm normally on during the day, so it's there's a little overlap, but not much. Joe, I was supposed to be working. As you can see, I got my hair cut, right? So it's nice and short. It's nice and short. And I was supposed to be working on the Airbnb, but instead my business partner who's working on the Airbnb with us brought over a tile saw. Well, a tile saw is a wet saw, and a wet saw can cut rocks. And so I asked him if I could cut my rocks. He showed me how to use it, and I went to town, cut the 2 rocks that I wanted, and they're incredible. I'm going to polish them up, give them a nice shine. They're going to be really good. Ash Exum gifted a membership. Thank you very much, Ash. Thank you for that. Joke. Sunday and Monday are in a fight. Who wins? I don't know. Monday is a weekday. Nice. There we go. Yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to have Dr. Joe on the channel probably later this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on his schedule. Actually, he told me what it was. Just one second. Hold tight. Let me check. Wait for it. Okay. Let's see. Well, he's going to be here all week, so we're going to have him probably Wednesday or Thursday. Yeah. So I'll line that up with Dr. Joe. Yes, Mrs. R.A. is the barber. She does a fantastic job, and the price is just right as well. She just asks for everything I ever earned. I'm ignoring your question about the doc. Does anyone know if R.A. watched the document? I have not watched it, KT. I have not had a chance yet. I know it was shown on the Discord channel. They did a live viewing of that, but I have not watched any of it. Judge Boyd is getting spicy with the defendant. What's happening here? Judge Boyd, what's up?
With Nordstrom's. And that includes Nordstrom's Rack, the regular Nordstrom's off Broadway. You're not to go there. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with Adam.
We're going to back up to the beginning
Trevino.
of this one, see what happened here.
All right, and everyone,
This is a few
please
minutes
do not
ago.
talk behind the court reporter. If you're in the box, just ask the deputy. They will move you to the further end. All right, do you have the exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me look over this real quick.
The facial hair, I lost half of it. I trimmed it down, but it did stay. So yes, the interview we're doing with Jennifer Anderson, she was in the documentary, the Ask Maya, Take Care of Maya documentary. We talked about that a little bit as well. Sarah Chick, I think I want a rock saw. I really do. It was so much fun to cut the rocks apart. Now that I know how to do it, how easy it is, and how incredible they can look, that's my new hobby, I think. And of course, I moved to a state, and a part of a state where we just have sand. I could dig up my entire yard and not find a single rock. It's just sand. Suzanne, be here tomorrow for that. Bring your questions as well, because it's gonna be amazing.
All right.
Just for the court's edification outside the record, I got the e-discovery and there was video of my funeral.
Oh, I just found it in thank you. All right, we're back on the record in 2023 CR 7388, State of Texas versus Elliott Vela. State, any more evidence you wish to present?
Yes, Your Honor. We'd like to supplement State's Exhibit 1 with that additional police report, Your Honor.
No objection.
All right. I know previously the previous judge stated there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And after reading State's Exhibits 1 and attachments with the supplement, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. And the court has accepted into evidence without objection the supplemental to the stipulations. Is there anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we have plea bargain for deferred adjudication. He is responsible.
Everyone, please whisper. If you cannot whisper, then you cannot talk while we're on the record.
He's responsible for a young son and he wants to turn his life around. So I asked the court to give him this one last chance. 6 years of deferred adjudication.
All right, so here's my question for you. Why are you stealing?
Money for my son.
No, your son doesn't wear cologne. Does your son wear cologne?
No, Your Honor.
How old is your son?
7 years old.
He's 7 years old. He's not wearing Versace cologne. So why are you stealing?
I was selling the stuff for money. It was stupid.
So why not just get a job? People always say there are no jobs available. They are, but there are just some jobs that people think are too good for them. Like nobody, I always pass by, I see job applications for Bill Miller's, McDonald's, and McDonald's, I think they're paying $20 an hour. I know some people say, well, I'm not flipping burgers for $20 an hour. But you know what? Guess what? In order for this society and any society to run well, everybody has to be able to do something.
Sure.
You need some people to bring in the crops. I think people are learning that. You need somebody to be maintenance. You need somebody to clean up. You need somebody to change the bedding at the hotels. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
But sometimes people think they're too good for that. So why do you think you're too good to work?
I don't. I was working at Toyota. I don't know. I don't know what happened, honestly.
No, yeah, you do know what happened. If you were working at Toyota, why were you no longer working at Toyota?
Transportation.
No, because there's Via Bus. So why were you no longer working at Toyota?
Out in the country where I'm in Poteet.
Mm-hmm.
Via doesn't go out there.
Mm-hmm. And nobody else in Poteet works at Toyota.
Not where I was at.
I find that very suspicious.
Well, I'm sure there's other people that work there, but I didn't know anybody that did at the time.
Yeah, I still don't understand that. If you have a great job, so you're telling me if I have a job and let's say my job pays $60 an hour and I'm working there, I have a child and I'm just going to say, well, I can't get to work anymore, so I'm just quitting. That doesn't make sense to me because you find a way to get to work. You either take an Uber, because I know Toyota pays well. You take an Uber to wherever the Via bus stop is, and then you take Via into your work. So that doesn't ring true to me. So again, why are you stealing? And you were stealing with other people. So all of you all got together and say, hey, neither one of us have a job and we need to support our children. So let's go to Nordstrom's rack and steal. I don't even understand going to Nordstrom's to steal. So we're back to why.
It was stupid. It was just to make money.
And how old are you?
28, 29.
So you're 28 years old and you're going to have a felony because you wanted to take some cologne.
It was a mistake.
No, it wasn't a mistake. You know what a mistake is? Let me tell you the definition of mistake. Let's say my mom didn't call me, but my mom calls me every day. So she would have called me and told me what the weather is. So let's say she calls me and she says, Stephanie, it's going to rain in San Antonio. Even though she doesn't live in this state, she always keeps her eye on the weather. And I'm like, okay. And then she calls me before I'm leaving. Don't forget your umbrella. I come to court. I have a black umbrella. I sit down next to somebody else who also has a black umbrella. I see people coming in, they're wet. I pick up the umbrella after I finish my business and I leave. And when I open up the umbrella, I don't see my initials. I took the wrong umbrella. That's a mistake. You made a choice. And let me give you an example of a choice. My mom doesn't call me and tell me it's not going to rain. It's looking cloudy, but I'm like, yeah, it's not going to rain. It's San Antonio. And if it does start raining, it'll stop fairly quickly. I come to court. I see people drenched because it's storming, raining. The person next to me has an umbrella. I don't have mine. I know it's raining. So you know what I do? I take their umbrella. That's not a mistake. I knew I didn't bring my umbrella, but hey, I don't want to get wet. You understand? So don't tell me you made a mistake. You made choices. Do you understand? Now, who do you live with?
My mother.
And who else?
My mother, her husband, my little sister.
All right. So you're not really taking care of your child. When's the last time you saw your child before being taken into custody?
Like a month prior.
All right. Does anybody have the October 9th? Was a PSI done on this?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
You got it?
I have it. Thank you. So they're asking for residential treatment. They say you have a alcohol problem, and it appears that you do.
No, man, the last time I drank was New Year's of last year. It's not a problem at all. And it's not even drinking. They get drunk. It was just on New Year's. That was the last time.
All right. Well, they're asking for you for residential treatment. I don't know why they're asking for residential treatment, because it says you started drinking alcohol at 23 and you do 2 to 3 liquor shots 2 times a year. That to me
2 times a year
does not. Yeah, that's what it says. 2 times a year.
You know, the PSI was on when she asked me. I told her on New Year's and on Christmas.
All right. I think it's more than that, but you're saying you don't need inpatient treatment. We're going to start you out with outpatient treatment. Court is going to sentence you to 6 years deferred adjudication, intensive outpatient treatment with probation, 100 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to require parenting classes. Once he completes parenting classes, the 100 hours of community service will be deemed satisfied. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular UAs, make sure they test for alcohol. You're not allowed to drink alcohol at all while you're on probation. Do you understand?
Sure.
There's to be no contact with Nordstrom's. And that includes Nordstrom's Rack, the regular Nordstrom's, Nordstrom's off Broadway. You're not to go there. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
There's to be no contact with Adam Trevino.
He's a security guard for Nordstrom.
The security guard for Nordstrom.
Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. And once he's...
Except for his child?
No. Once he's started doing parenting classes, then you can come back and I'll probably lift that. But he has a alcohol problem according to them, and he's going around, and this is not, according to the police report I read, this is not the only location where they've been committing thefts.
You understand? You
There's to be field visits 1 time per month for 4 months. And then at probation's discretion. They would also probably ask for a theft course. Here's my theft course. Don't steal. Don't take what doesn't belong to you. Do you need a course for somebody to tell you that?
No.
All right. And we'll do the MRT.
Judge Boyd is in Bayer County,
Probation,
Texas.
is there anything else he needs?
BEXAR, Bayer County, Texas. I think we all just graduated from her
Yes.
advanced class in not
90
stealing.
and 90 days. So you'll have to do sober meetings each day. You can do those online. You can do those in person. They're all over the state of Texas, and I'm sure there are some in Poteet. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there anything else, probation?
You have any questions?
All right. Is there anything that you need from the court to be successful?
No, I got it.
All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. We can go off the record. You need to be making your son proud of you.
Yes,
All right. So do better.
All right.
And this court, in order to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you feel like probation is not addressing something, you can always come back to the court. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
The probation officer.
We did send flowers to Judge Boyd. What was that, last month?
Thank you, Judge.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Always good seeing you.
She has some beautiful flowers there. The purses are provided by gifts from her mom. She has very, very nice purses. And she has very
All
nice
right,
flowers.
who
And
is
she always has
here
great
on
advice.
Stephen Estrada?
Eddie Broderick, present.
All right. Where is Estrada?
He's over there in the box.
All right. Come down, Mr. Estrada.
It's y'all. Y'all already made an offer.
All right. This one's done.
All
All right. Who's the...
Switch sides.
Okay.
So Judge, I have all the discovery I need. Mr. Estrada was bench warranted over about 2.5, 3 months ago from Hayes County. He's double enhanced. Hayes County gave him an offer of 15 years. It's the same offer they've also
Well,
given.
I don't want to know what the offer is here.
They've given an offer there. They've given an offer here. His concern is that he takes care of Hayes County's first because he trusts Hayes County less than Bear County. I think he's making a rational decision. And so he is scheduled on the 27th of this month to go to Hayes County. And he's calling his attorney today to get himself bench warranted back there to take care of it. And then he will take care of the case here.
What is your issue with the lack of trust of Bear County?
No, Hayes County.
Hayes County.
Yes, ma'am. It's just I've been incarcerated 2 years and 9 months.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We can do a plea on this case today, and I will set sentencing off to when he does his sentencing in Hayes County.
Would you consider doing the plea tomorrow?
No. And let me tell you the reason why. Because Hayes County is going to see on our system that he has been to court, and they're going to immediately take him.
And they're going to what? I'm sorry.
They're going to immediately take him. So if he does a plea today, we can, once they transfer you back to Hayes County, if Hayes has Zoom available, we can sentence you by Zoom if there's no objection by your attorney.
There is no objection. I'm sorry. I have something that I'm trying to work into the schedule. Would you take a plea by Zoom or not?
No.
Okay.
Because it appears that he has a lot of cases. So if y'all do the plea today, and then we will set you on the day that after your Hayes County, which you're saying the 27th.
Yes, ma'am.
I will set this on the 28th for sentencing.
See, the thing is, ma'am, I'm afraid to sign here and then go over there and get my cases. I'm trying to get them run concurrent.
No, here's the thing. Once you do your plea here, if you're sentenced in Hayes County on that day, I will ask that it run concurrent.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
All right.
All right. Thank you. So they're going to enter a plea.
She's actually helping him out.
Thank you. Just have a seat.
He's worried.
Henry Arzola.
He's worried that the other county,
Henry Azola,
will make his sentence run after this one. He says they don't
Is there
trust them.
a reason the
Let me
person in
get
the
sentenced
red
there
is standing
first.
and chewing gum as like there's no tomorrow? Hello. Good morning.
Somebody's in there chewing gum in court. Out she goes.
I'll say he already entered a plea in this
He
case.
did, Judge, in front of Judge Angelini.
And how did he plea?
He pled no contest.
Okay.
And it was reset for just a tap evaluation.
All right. Court is calling
Attorney in the sweater.
2023 CR 7490, State of Texas versus Henry Arzola Jr. We're gonna have parties announced for the record for the state
Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
defense.
Jason Joyner for Henry Arzola.
And are you Henry Arzola Jr.? All right, you entered a plea on October 9th to Class A driving while intoxicated. According to your plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended for 2 years. Have both parties had a chance to review the TAP evaluation?
I have not, Your Honor, but I remember this. Thank you, Judge. And I remember when we pled this, so I'm familiar with the case, Judge.
Defense has, Your Honor.
All right. Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, we just ask that you follow the recommendations from TAP. The only thing that I asked, Judge, there's a 3-day Bexar County jail as a condition of probation. He's a full-time firefighter. We ask that you consider probating it or giving him house arrest on that with an ankle monitor.
All right, you can either do 3 days at the Bexar County Jail since you're employed, or either you can do 30 days on GPS. Which would you prefer?
7 days.
Okay. All right. So this is what the court will do. And state, if you need to continue to confer, you can.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Court will sentence you to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail, suspended and probated for 2 years. There's $1,000 fine that will be probated. And has the restitution been paid?
My understanding that it has been paid, Judge.
All right, we're going to do restitution, if any, and probation. If you can make sure that the restitution has been paid, there's to be 2-year driver's license suspension, ignition interlock for the full term, in lieu of the 3 days in the Bexar County Jail. There's to be 30 days GPS partial for work only. And the court is giving you the 30 days GPS because, one, I know the conditions at the Bexar County Jail, and I know there are health issues related to that, and I know there's overcrowding. Otherwise, you would be receiving the 3 days at the Bexar County Jail. You understand?
They have some jail issues going on in the county.
All right. Do you have a vehicle?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then, and also if not driving, then I'm going to want the mobile device as well. And there's to be ignition interlock on any vehicle at that home. 200 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
No, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. And I'm going to want the victim impact panel and DWI education course for him. And 90 sober meetings in 90 days.
And Judge, if I may, regarding that, he has done 361 days of AA meetings. He did do the 90 days straight to start that. I don't know if he can provide you proof of that or probation proof of that in lieu of the sober meetings.
So when is the last time you had a sober meeting? What date?
I had it this past Monday.
He's doing weekly meetings.
I do weekly meetings now, but I did complete the 90 days straight.
Okay.
And then ever since, like I said, I'm as of today, 361 of sobriety and AA meetings.
All right, then we'll do, instead of 90 sober meetings in 90 days, we'll do weekly sober meetings. And that's until further notice. And intensive outpatient treatment, either with probation or his provider. Probation, is there anything else he needs? 200. All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. You're tall enough. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. You should know better because you're a firefighter. I know that it's never anyone's intention to become intoxicated and drive. What ends up happening is you become intoxicated, then you don't realize that you should be driving. But I haven't done any statistical studies on it. My statistics professor will be upset with what I'm about to say. But just what I've noticed is when people drive intoxicated and there's an accident, do you know who they end up killing? They're just fine, but they end up ruining other people's lives. Either it's a passenger in the car or it's the soccer mom or somebody with their children. So obviously you're a person who cannot drink at all. So do not drink. You understand? All right. Good luck to you. Could you make sure this goes to probation?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good one. All right. Who's here on Gilbert Reynosa?
I am, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. And where is Gilbert Reynosa?
He's not here. This is a John Fox case that he asked me to come by and ask the court if there was a development. I believe he texted me a long text this morning.
All right. Have you conferred with the state?
I have not conferred with the state. I don't know much about the case other than I was just trying to nudge it along anyway.
Oh, no. If you'll confer with them and see if they have any objection.
Okay. I'll do that.
Sure.
Thank you.
All right. Do you need?
I think I do. Thank you, Judge.
Sure.
I'll be right back.
Thank you. Jesus Garza. Hello. Good morning. How's it going today?
Good.
All right. So he's in federal custody.
He is. Now, I did talk to Paul. They have pled him in federal custody. He's awaiting sentencing. Of course, Paul can't know what he's going to get, but he thinks somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years.
All right. State on Jesus Garza.
Yes, Judge.
This is the guy who's in federal custody. They say that he has pled, and Paul believes he's going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 years.
Okay, Judge.
So what I'll do is I will reset this, and then if you all can see where we are.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Lance, can you put this for the second week in December? All right, thank you.
We'll stick with her for just a little bit longer, see what Judge Boyd is doing. Let me jump ahead.
All right, so has all of the discovery been completed?
I have everything except the DVD that's got the pin factor on it. I've arranged to pick that up this afternoon.
Okay.
And I'll visit with him at the jail tomorrow evening with my laptop. I've discussed with the prosecutor, we have an offer.
Okay. And how old are you, Mr. Lavario?
6.
I'm sorry?
36.
All right. When are you planning on seeing him at the jail, you think?
Tomorrow evening, Judge.
All right. Lance, can you put this for a plea deadline date at the end of this month? All right. So we're going to come back on November 30th. At that time, you need to let the court know whether or not you're accepting the state's offer. If you choose not to accept the offer, the court will not consider any plea bargain agreements without good cause. Otherwise, you have to plead open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Is there anything else, counsel?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. You're excused. Yes. Deputies, we're done with Lavario. Rogelio Lara. And who is Aztec? And Stephen Acera is actually in the waiting room. All right, so on this case, today is plea deadline date. Where are we?
Your Honor, we do not have an agreement, so we're just proceeding to jury trial.
All right, how long do you expect this trial to last?
Oh, I would say probably 2 to 3 days, Judge.
Okay, 2 to 3 days on a theft case?
2 days.
Okay. All right. So let me see. Are you rejecting the offer?
Yes, ma'am. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I just want a little bit more time.
No. Today is the day for you to enter a plea if you choose to enter a plea. Otherwise, the court is not going to consider any plea bargain agreements in this case without good cause. In which case you'll have to plea open to court if you decide to plea. So do you want your jury trial? Yes or no?
No, I reject that.
No. Do you want a jury trial?
Yes.
All right.
This individual is going to learn a lot about the court process.
When are you all up in
the next few
December?
days.
The 5th, Judge. I think the first week of December.
All right, Lance, can you put this for jury trial on December 5th? All right, once you sign the reset form, you are excused.
Very good, Judge. Thank you.
This judge
All right,
handles a
thank you.
lot of work. Her docket
And
is
that's
full.
Rogelio Lara. Thank you.
So there are times when it goes just through just a ton of people. It just burns through them. And then the other time she spends, a full day in a jury trial.
Matthew Lavario. Oh, we're done with that. Thank you.
Casey Marie, welcome. Glad to have you here.
And everyone, we are starting a jury trial today at 1:30. So we are recessing, doing a hard stop at 12. So if your case is not taken care of, you're going to come back in the afternoon and we will take you up during some break. Yes.
May I report back to the court?
Yes.
Judge. So my intention was to nudge it forward to the next step. I think we've done that. Probation is going to do a deep dive with ignition interlock and then report back to the state. I don't think there's anything I need from the court today. So I'll do that and then report back to the
All right. And if you'll make sure that it makes its way back into the file.
Well, sure, man. Take it. Or do we want to give it to Lance?
You give it to them.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Who's the attorney for Stephen Acera? All right. All right. We're just waiting for Mr. Lopez. All right. And Mr. Acera is by Zoom. Okay. Or maybe he's listed under Aztec. Let's see who Aztec is. Mr. Acera? I need you to show your video.
KT, you're not new here. You're not new here.
All right, could you unmute, please? Hi, are you Mr. Acera?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so I'll need for you to call your attorney because your attorney is not here yet.
Okay, I'll call
So
them right
I'm
now.
going to put you back in the breakout room.
Okay.
And then just contact your attorney. And once he comes here, we will take up your matter. So this is Monday docket. And
she's talking to us.
Everything is on the docket. But the thing about it is, whenever there is a holiday, if the holiday is on the weekend, what ends up happening is Monday becomes a very, very hectic day because everything that should have been on a Friday or a Thursday is brought back on Monday. And then we have a couple of people out enjoying vacation, which I think vacation is very necessary. Because otherwise, what ends up happening is your brain, as my mom says, your brain needs some rest. And this can get very hectic. And because you're dealing with people's lives, some people could end up going to prison. Some people, when they enter pleas, there are all of these collateral consequences. So you really need to be at 100% because otherwise you miss things. That's why it's so difficult to be in trial, because in trial, as a defense attorney, as a prosecutor, you need to be at 100%. And then you have the fact that things are happening, and maybe things are happening that you didn't anticipate, and you have to be able to change directions and course. So it's very difficult.
All right, we're gonna bail on the judge, on Judge Stephanie Boyd. Lots of things going on right now. We're gonna wrap up so you can have lunch, and then I have to take the afternoon to prep for tomorrow's interview. There's a lot of things I have to do on my side as far as technology wise to make sure I don't mess it up, which I'm really nervous about. And also make sure that Jennifer Anderson has everything she needs on her end to make it work and test everything out and everything. So we're going to try to do that. I'll try to get everything done today and get ready to the interview tomorrow that we're going to be following, that we're super excited about. This is a continuation of, sort of looking behind the curtain, so to speak, in the Maya trial. We're going to have Jennifer Anderson, who is married to Greg Anderson and also a law partner at the same company, the Greg's company. And we're going to have her, and I think we're going to have two other people, a sister and paralegal. Hey, Zoe. And I have Zoe here apparently as well. So that's what we're going to do today. Is there anything else you need from me to be successful today, as Judge Boyd would ask? If you want to follow Judge Boyd, she does have her own YouTube channel. You can search Judge Stephanie Boyd, Judge Boyd. She's out of Bexar County, Texas. That's a pretty easy one to find. What time is the interview tomorrow? It's going to be at noon. It's going to be at noon Eastern time. So we'll do it. We'll be live in the morning. Then we'll have a break, and then we'll come back with the interview. So same bat time tomorrow. It's going to be 8:30 for our regular morning. Might do a little court hopping in the morning and then the interview in the afternoon. Her sister is their paralegal. Yeah, and so we've got Kelly and trying to remember what the names are. My phone is so slow. Let's see. We've got Kelly Perry. And also her sister. Let's see. Katie in Texas and Kelly. Okay. So Kelly's in Texas. Katie's okay. All right. We'll get it sorted. We'll get it sorted out. All right. That's it. Yes. Appreciate it. I'm glad I can help out, Little Miss. Anything else I need to go over? No. we are working our way back into another trial. It's coming. We don't have anything to announce yet, but we will get one, and we'll be following one here shortly. If you have a suggestion or want me to take a look at a trial that's coming up that has that's interesting, that's something that you think our community would enjoy watching together, please reach out to me on the burner phone and let me know the details. If you can tell me where it's at, who the defendant is, what the charges are, just give me a brief synopsis, like the cliff notes to that. That'll help a lot. And then I'll start researching to see if we're going to be able to bring it to you. I don't think a lot of places are closed. I think people just are out on vacation. Like Judge has got a long vacation or something. Can we see Zoe? Let's see. Here's Zoe. We'll sit you right here, okay? All right, Zoe's here. Just get comfy on the desk. Where's the cat? The cat is an outdoor cat. Zoe's an indoor dog, and I think it works better that way. All right, so we're going to take the rest of the day off. We're going to prepare for tomorrow. Please spread the word. We'd love to have you here and all your friends to watch and participate with that interview. I think it'll be really good. I think you're going to love what you hear and the questions that get answered. I will say tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone, make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again. It will be tomorrow morning, first thing in the morning for a meetup, and then our interview is at noon. If anything changes, I will let you know. Oh, don't stand on the keyboard, Zoe. That's might end really soon here. Do you want to get down? No? All right, Zoe wants down, I think. All right, that's all. Be good to each other. We will see you. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Scratch all that. Oh, that was terrible. I apologize.